Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to the very first episode of D6 Disasters. I am your humble dungeon master, Alora Howery, and with me I have...
Hi, I'm Connor Myers, playing the character Clint.
Hello, my name is Kai Howery. I play Ty.
I'm Wombat. I'm playing Tristan.
I'm Tirza Howry and I play Willem.
Hi, I'm William. I go by Lee. I play Maka. And a little secret that we'll talk about later.
No spoilers.
I'm Madison, but they call me Maddie, but they don't know how to spell it. I'm Vulcan Maestro.
All right. Thank you guys very much. All right. So we're going to start this episode off with a little introduction video that we whipped together. I hope you guys enjoy it, and we'll see you in a little bit. Fienia. A world built from the hands of gods. A world teeming with life and possibility, and built on 1,000 years of strife and war. In the known world, 3 continents stand to the north, south, and east. Oslia, a country filled with color and nature and home to many magical creatures. Akrella, the red rock of a country built on centuries of mines and caves. And Uvrahia, a desert wasteland corrupted by the abyss and occupied by the world's outcasts. These 3 nations have seen many wars and unities over the millennium, but they all combine to form what we know as Fienia. It is currently 1501 HE, or Hero Era. Oslia, land of the elves, is currently split apart into warring factions, including the Truebloods, a ruthless guild of royal-blooded elves who wish to take the throne for themselves, and the Oslian Shore, a military branch of elves who have politically severed themselves from the monarchy. Akrella, home of the mighty dwarf, is recovering from their civil war with the new established country of Asheria. They have established a democracy to replace their monarchy, and their capital has grown tenfold since then, covering hundreds of thousands of miles in every direction. Ufrahia, a country reborn, has discovered the miracle of modern medicine and is reviving their corrupted land to bring pure drinking water and fertile farming back to the new generation. This has been dubbed the Steam Age, a time of technology and industrialization. The date is 29th of Third Dusk. Fienia is in the autumn season of their year, and our story begins with 6 unlikely travelers that, for reasons that are unknown, are headed toward an adventure none of them anticipated.
I am Vulcan Maestro, a traditional fighter and pillager of southern Ukralia. I have been born and raised by the sea and spent most of my life aboard the Draken, my family's ship. My father taught me swordsmanship, while my mother helped me with other schooling matters. Considering the type of person I grew up to be, though, I spent a little too much time with my father. My abilities and strength soon led me to wield my greatsword, Tyr, a truly beautiful piece of craftsmanship. My parents and our loyal crew were proud of my growth as a young fighter, and it became my life, the thing that brought me true happiness, besides the money and gold that we stole around the coast. I fought for the sake of myself, my tradition, and my god, Hept, the god of strength and battle. Don't let the title fool you, he is far more fair than you could imagine. I had realized that after making many mistakes during my time as captain. I hurt many people during this time, warriors equal to myself, those that were defending themselves, and a few that did not deserve their fates, all for the sake of their riches and valuable items. My crew was content, and so was I, but I knew I could feel eyes watching me, eyes that could not be seen but were certainly there. But I only addressed them after hurting someone I should not have, which I would rather not go into detail about. Hept was angry after what I did. He gave me a terrible vision, a vision I know was real, and not me going insane. He took everything from me that night, after that terrible dream, the terrible vision he gave me. My friends, my ship, my role, my pride. He turned me into the monster I always was. I ran away that night, leaving behind everything I knew. My friends and even my family. I knew I'd never see them again. It has been 3 years since those events. I traveled to the coast and then slowly inland, even to Sharia further northwest. I had done handiwork for a bit, almost never going back to the sea if I could help it. I lived out the woods like a hermit, only going to villages for work or for a good drink. I lived off the land around me, and for so long, it felt like time had stopped for me. Things seemed to take longer than they did, but I suppose that is the life that I gave myself.
Fire burns that which feeds it. Some fella told me that years ago. He's long gone now, but I sure ain't. So I guess he lives on in the way then, huh? Name's Clint. You can call me Clint the Flint, though my friends call me Shepherd. And I get that name, the Flint? Let's just say I've caused many an ember to burn. And I ain't just talking the latest lawns neither. Got quite the past behind me. Plenty to run from. Hell, I've been running ever since my sister died. What the hell am I telling you all this for? Get me another round, barkeep. Clint Shepherd is a half-elven human hailing from Assyria. He was getting work and payment from the Onyx, an Assyrian gang, for about 5 years after deserting his hometown of Fairbend. He only recently denounced his membership by stealing a very unique and rare artifact that he was to deliver for a job, a revolver pistol. He since has been roaming the world, running from the law, his gang, his family, and his past. Maybe one day he'll confront his fears, but until then, he will always be the Flint.
It's easy to find a friend in Willem. His desire to keep everyone safe and happy has caused him to linger in some friendships for far too long. He loves the attention he gets from performing, but is extremely insecure about what gives him his talent for performance: his magic. It's rare enough to find magical beings in this day and age, and his natural-born abilities have caused him nothing but trouble. Willem is not proud of his heritage. His father is a wonderful man, kind, considerate, resourceful, hardworking. However, his mother is not so virtuous. An elven noble with a fair bit of power who somehow fell in love with one of her servants. Instead of the fairy tale ending one might expect, once she found that her son had magic, she quickly decided to sell him off to the True Bloods. Deciding his son would not become a weapon for such a despicable group of elven supremacists, Willem's father escaped with the 4-year-old child. They left Oslia, land of the elves, for Asheria, mainly populated by humans. They tried their best to fit in, but Willem's magic only grew stronger. In an effort to stay hidden, Willem joined the Daydreamers, a small traveling group of performers. Willem learned to bend the perceptions of others to make his card tricks even more impressive, yet always wanted the skill to perform without using the magic that had cast him from his home. A few years into performing with his new friends, the troupe went to visit Asheria, and during their performance, a small halfling child was fascinated by them. After the show, Willem learned that the boy's name was Ty Grubb. Absolutely loving the attention, Willem taught him a few tricks, and in return learned how to speak halfling. They became great friends, and now Willem had 2 people to return to Asheria for. After almost 15 years of performing with the Daydreamers, a slip in control led them to discovering Willem's magic. It was a testament to their skill that they could do their awe-inspiring acts without magical aid, and once they found Willem had been hiding real sorcery from them, they knew they couldn't keep him around. So Willem left his best friends with dignity, and returned home. However, when he got there, all was not well.
What is this strange device? You want me to speak into it? Very well. I'll trust your judgment. What happens to faith in a world where the gods have long departed? With their powers and influence gone, only 2 kinds of people would take up the trials of priesthood: optimistic fools and those who have nothing left to lose. Me? I entered the Sunspear Cloister as neither, and left us both. Lacking the strength of a farmhand and the people skills to be a merchant, my family sent me to the old cloister as a young boy, to hone my skills of writing and reading, to make an honest living as a clerk or a translator. All this religious things the other monks were doing half-heartedly did not really interest me, until I fell in love with the cute librarian that tended to the holy scripts. That smile was what truly made me believe in a higher power. After all, I am only human. So I chose the way of piety and became a monk, to the not-so-quiet disdain of my family. Me and Gwendolyn Rivers, fairest bookworm of them all, worked together on our theories on why the gods might have left, and if there could be a way to bring them back. We were planning to travel the countryside together, finding clues and answers, and we were supposed to be married after I turned 21, but fate had other plans. Lightning struck the tower, and my beloved Gwen, as well as most of our scriptures, perished in the flames. After that, the last priest left the Sunspear cloister, and I spent the next 10 years cleaning up the remains and tending to the old abbot, who on his deathbed declared me the next high priest. With nothing left, this might have been the end of High Priest Tristan, but a vague divine calling guided me outside the rubble walls and into the unknown, until I found myself as the bungling rescuer and de facto legal guardian of a small blue tiefling entertainer. Once again, I had purpose. And not only that, as this meeting was truly a sign of our divine grace, there might very well be a way to bring Asliana back, to bring all the gods back to the world. And if they are back, maybe they can bring her back too.
Hi, I'm Ty Grubb, but you can call me Dr. Grubb. Or don't, no one really does. As of a few months ago, I graduated from medical school so I could help those in need in any way that I can. I'd started experimenting with herbs to make all sorts of medicines, as well as potions to help aid in the healing process. I have a friend named Willem, who I've known most of my life, and a few other friends that I've made a bit more recently. You may have heard of some of them, seeing as they, are all outlaws. Look, the point is, my whole life I've wanted to help people. I thought that the only way to do that was with medical expertise. But recently, I realized that no matter how good a doctor you are, there will always be someone that I can't save. I sought out my friend Volka, a tiefling barbarian, to teach me how to fight. Now I can use my frustration with those I can't help to protect the ones I love. But despite all this rage and violence, I always come back to the name of my sword, Aegis, Protector, to remind me that others' safety always comes first.
My name is Maka the Magnificent, and I am the world's greatest bard. Or, at least I used to be. I grew up in Koyasil in a coliseum known as the Glow Dome, which was owned by the True Bloods. I was captive there along with my adoptive family, where I entertained the wealthy High Elven population with my gifts of song and performance. Eventually, my adoptive family learned that I had another gift. Magic. But we had to keep that a secret. My family, the other prisoners, they knew that if the True Bloods found out that I was an Arcanist, they would send me away and they couldn't protect me anymore. For years, nearly 20 years, I stayed there in the Glow Dome, performing. Never stopping, hardly resting, living on adrenaline and the love of my family. I became pretty physically weak by all of that. Either way, eventually this monk showed up. His name's Tristan. He said that his goddess sent him to free my family and I. His escape tactics were rocky, to say the very least, and me and him were the only ones who made it out. I assumed after that day that the entertainers had died. But yeah, Tristan. He took responsibility over me, growing to have a sort of mentor-like role in my life. He guided me for a few months around the continent, and he taught me about the world. Eventually, we found all these other people. I was able to look into the eyes of another tiefling for the first time in my life. I learned to rebuild the family I had lost, and eventually I learned I didn't have to. I learned that my family was alive somewhere. I guess that's where the emotions overtook me. Maybe I was too naive or too trusting or too stupid or too scared, but I became corrupted. A being called Mortizem called out to me. He promised me power. He promised that I could avenge what had happened to my family and I could be important, but he didn't tell me the price. I became entangled with a pact. Mortizem has chosen me as his vessel, I think, and I don't know how to fix the situation. What I'm trying to say is, I'm scared. Right now I'm with Astaya. She's a Fey woman who was in the Glow Dome with me, and I recently got reunited with her. Despite my lack of senses right now, I am helplessly in love with her. I'm hoping that with her help, I can kill Mortizem and free my own soul and be able to live a life with her. What I want is to be magnificent again.
The story so far. The talented performer Willem was traveling with his troupe, the Daydreamers, when the wild magic within him began surging, and he was discovered by the locals. Because his magic was a danger to the rest of the troupe, the Daydreamers exiled him and forced him to return home. Upon arriving back at his childhood home, he realized that it had been completely destroyed, and his father was nowhere to be found. He suspected that he knew who the perpetrators were. Willem sought out the one man he could think of who could retrieve his father, a dangerous-looking man with a glint in his eye and a broad-brimmed hat on his head. Willem found Clint in a camp, haggling with the lowlives, and the two of them discovered Vulca also staying there. After fighting off some thugs who were seeking a bounty on Clint's head, the three of them retrieved Willem's childhood friend Ty to assist them on the journey in case one of them needed serious medical attention. Then, they set out to find Willem's father. The small party travels north toward the capital, where Willem was told the kidnappers were headed. After stopping in a small town called Grimeflat, their talk of dark figures in cloaks gets the attention of a human monk and his tiefling companion. Tristan and Maka insist they travel with the party because they know exactly where the dark figures were going, and they knew the figures had Willem's father. Begrudgingly, the party agrees, and the group of travelers is complete. The party continues on their journey, following clues to the whereabouts of the kidnappers, and they eventually come to the capital of Asheria, Bronze Summit, where they meet many interesting and slightly disturbing characters. They agree to ride the rest of the way on horseback so they can catch up with the kidnappers' carriage, but as they are riding toward the main gate, they are suddenly chased by figures dressed very similarly to Clint. The party is able to lose them, either by killing them or subduing the assaulters' horses, but Clint knows this is not the end of the conflict. They'll be back. The party finds the criminals who kidnapped Willem's father, and after a heavy battle and aggressive negotiation, Willem's father is released. During this time, Maka talks to the leader of the kidnappers, and it is revealed that prisoners that lived with her during her time in the True Blood's captivity are still alive and are on the run. With newfound purpose, she leads the party toward Koyasil, the residing city of the True Bloods, in the hopes that her prisoner family will still be there. However, Clint believes it is appropriate to visit a local church first before they get on their way. There's not many churches left running in this current climate, but they find a small church worshipping Hept, the god of strength. It is in this small town of Limbo Landing that the party meets a host of new characters. Murdith Gnellis, owner of Silk Riches and the new heartthrob of Maka's heart. Pastor Jasper and his disrespectful son Jacob. Lackey, the first of many of Clint's old gang contacts. And William Loftcreed, an international delegate who deals with people crossing the border between Asheria and Akrella. After saving the delegate's life, Loftcreed gets the party on board a ferry traveling across the river border. It is on this boat that the party meets Coram, a tiny elven child with the tips of his ears cut off. At first, the shipmates give him a hard time and threaten to throw him overboard, but the party chases them off and temporarily takes Coram into their own hands. The party exits the ferry, entering the town of Thane's Peak. This is where Maka finds the first member of her old prison mates, Snots. Or at least, she thinks it's him. It appears that he's being executed by the Akrellan government for escaping prison, but Clint is able to convince the executioner that this is an unfair execution and the man deserves a fair trial. After a whole slew of court hearings and scuffling with the law, the party walks away with Snots, who is revealed to be Frabnebek, Snot's younger brother. Frabnibek leads the party to his home in Kegren, first through Dracot, where the party deals with a pair of twin tieflings who cannibalize as part of their religious rituals. Love and Lust ran the lush angel pub in Dracot, but after the party dealt with the two of them, Lust was beheaded, and Love barely escaped with his life. After burning down the building, the party rushed to Kegran, seeking asylum, but they are amazed by the new technology that greets them. Kegran, a large dome city filled with green life that is completely opposite of Akrellin's rocky landscape, is guarded by automaton robots who move and talk so strangely. Even though they make it to Frabnibek's home and Maka is reunited with her father figure Snots, known by his original name Gnihimbag, the tiefling bard is acting very strangely and doesn't seem very affected by it. The party, while worried for Maka, take 3 weeks to relax in Kegran, building new tools and making new friends in this wonderful city. Maka becomes more and more distant, and it seems like she has strange new powers along with this weird personality change. After 3 weeks, Snots reveals that he knows the location of another member of their prison family, Astaya, the Eladrin elf. Apparently, she's been resold to a prominent dwarven lord in the megacity Ufrar, Akrella's capital. The party investigates and, after asking around and partnering with some fellow crime instigators, figures out that Astaya is owned by the Battleborn family, a family notorious for hosting exotic balls, where they show off all of the exotic creatures they find on their travels. The heist to rescue Astaya and the other prisoners, while very chaotic and full of improvised moments, succeeds without any casualties. Astaya is returned to her family, Maka and Snots, but is soon visited by her blood father, a noble Eladrin on the Feywild Council, the Lintuilin Dorea. He demands that she returns home to retake her place in power, but Astaya wants anything but her old life. Finally, the young Ty Grubb volunteers himself to fight for Astaya's freedom against the father's most skilled knight in a duel. After an impressive battle, Ty is the surprising victor of the duel, bringing the skilled knight to his knees. Astaya's father allows her to leave her duties behind, but she must give up her immortality to stay on the material plane. She agrees, and Astaya and Maka are permanently reunited. The next day, Clint Shepard insists that the party leaves to go back to his hometown where he can visit his sister's grave, as her birthday is coming up and he does so every year. But the party wants to stay in Kegran just a little bit longer to celebrate their Tristan's birthday. Clint, however, leaves on his own, not wanting to be even a little bit late. Volka, though distressed that he's gone, helps with the festivities and Tristan enjoys his first real birthday in over 2 decades. However, once they have their birthday feast, Volka ushers the party back into the wagon to find Clint and Fairbend. Maka, surprisingly, wants to stay behind with her family to try to uncover what's really wrong with her. And once the party leaves, it is revealed that Maka has had her soul stolen by the evil spirit Mordazem, a creature thought long dead until now. He has formed a pact with her under false pretenses, and Astaya vows to help Maka overcome him and get her soul back. Meanwhile, Clint rides home to Fairbend as fast as he can, putting both him and his horse in danger as the autumn weather turns into bitter winter. However, he makes it to Fairbend, in time for his late sister's birthday, and visits her grave. But he's greeted with a sight that will change the course of this story. His old gang, the Onyx, has marked their symbol on her grave in dark charcoal. Bristled, Clint returns to his childhood home, but comes to find that it has been set ablaze. Rushing into action, he manages to save his father and mother from the fire, but he realizes that his mother is deathly ill, which is why she couldn't escape the home. Clint and his father begrudgingly reunite, but Clint's return isn't entirely welcome. The party arrives shortly after the fires are almost put out, and they help to finally extinguish the flames. Clint and Tristan agree to find out who did this and put them out of their misery, strengthening the bond between them. Volka attempts to help, but only seems to weigh Clint down. Unfazed, she decides to make herself useful and help in the search for the apparent criminal. And once the rest of the party congregates in the middle of town, they work together to find the culprit. And this is where our story begins.
All right, are we ready for the recap, ladies and gentlemen and others?
And Lee.
And Lee. Lee is also here. And Scar was there.
All right. So, where we last left off, we were following Clint as he was going on his very dangerous trek across Akrella to get back to his hometown to visit his late sister's grave in Fairbend. The party was also following close behind, but both of them had some issues that kept them from getting there super early. Clint met up with Loftcreed, regaining his old horse Blue. He crosses the river and makes it to Fairbend by the evening. He spends the first night at the Hollow Mandolin with his old barkeep friend Winfred. Winfred recognizes him at the last minute, but agrees not to say anything. Clint shuffles away in his drunken stupor off to make a makeshift camp for the night. He goes to visit his sister's grave, but realizes that it has been maimed by his old gang, the Onyx, with a charcoal symbol carved into it. Clint realizes that further down the road, his childhood home has been set ablaze, and he gets there just in time to pull both his father and his evidently sick mother out of the house. The father recognizes him, and they have a bit of a dispute about where he's been and why he should have been there. And Clint just takes a walk, regroups with the party, which he was very surprised that they were there that quickly. And he relates to them what happened. Ty heads down to the St. Cunningham Infirmary to help Clint's mom and see what he can do to treat her. It's very rare for elves to get sick, so this is definitely kind of a tense situation. Clint investigates the ruins of his house. He finds a smashed flower pot along with a blown box of matches with oil burns all over the walls. A note has been nailed to the metal door frame reading, "First move. Play it real safe if you want to keep your mama around. We'll be in contact." He assumes that this is a message from the person that set the house on fire. He informs Tristan of the situation, and they both agree to go on a witch hunt for the perpetrator. And that is where we will begin. So, it is about, let's see, I think I said it was 9 or 10 in the morning. So Clint and Tristan, what would you like to do first?
Just for the sake of, like, catching up, it's been a minute. Did Clint find anything of importance in the rubble?
Yes, it was safe to assume that this was a sort of, like, oil fire or some kind of, yeah, basically an oil fire. And they had, like, lit an entire box of matches, thrown it in, the whole thing had blown up and was set ablaze. But at first you thought that it was the guy from Lesser Oils, but then you realized that it wasn't that type of oil, because you actually had some and you used it, and you were like, wait a second, that's not the right kind. But other than that, you don't have a whole lot to go on. You would need to do some more investigating to figure out who did it.
Okay. Clint is livid, of course. He's going to pace around for a second and writhe his hands together and just take a cigar out angrily and shove it in his mouth and light it. He's like, God fucking damn it! So Tristan, what do you think?
I think this is bad. Is there where the place where the fire started? Can you show me that to me? Maybe I can find some footprints. Or do you already know where we can find them and have a little friendly talk with them
Oh yeah, talk. That'll work.
Yeah,
Fuck.
the talk that fists do.
Volka's also there. She's just kind of off to the side.
Okay.
Clen's going to go over to. Do I know the place where the oil splashed down?
Yes, it from the marks and from the kind of splash pattern, you notice that whatever it was thrown in from the back window that is on the back wall of the small kitchenette that leads into the living room.
Okay. Can I check it for any shrapnel, broken, any canisters that the oil could have been contained in that might give us a clue, footprints, etc.?
Yeah, go ahead, roll investigation.
Can Tristan assist with that?
Yes.
In that case, get also with my beautiful D4 for guidance.
Ah.
But I need it really badly.
Oh no.
Uh-oh. Let's see. Come on. Load, please. Oh, okay, wait. Oh, shit. Okay, 19. 23! Thank you, Tristan!
Okay. So you're looking for pieces of things that would show you, where they got the oil from, tracks.
Yeah, like a oil canister, tracks, shrapnel, or anything.
Okay.
From whatever they use.
You find you're looking through the bits of broken flower pot that you found, and you also find little bits of a really, really thin metal. It's cool now. But because you've had a lot of experience now with tinkering with metal, you realize that it was warm maybe a few hours ago. You also start walking outside, out the back door where you found the original note, and you were an arsonist for a while, right? So
Yeah.
You know a thing or two about, covering your tracks and making it look like an accident. Well, there is a bit of a patch of grass that's a bit farther away from the house, so it didn't have any reason to be burnt, and it's completely singed. And you think that might have been a way for the perpetrator to cover their tracks. And it is kind of leading back into town.
Okay. Clint's going to look at it, and take a puff of his cigar and say, "Well, they're either in town, or they're long gone ahead of us by a good couple hours, so that's good. Fuck. Should we, and then Clint's gonna pull out, his daggers, and he's like, should we go, ask the townsfolk?
Tristan looks at the knife, which you please put that knife away, and store it for when we actually find them. I don't want any civilians who have nothing to do with this hurt.
Oh no, it's good for incentive for information. And he's gonna toss them in the air for a minute.
Please don't. But I will help you find as much information as possible, but please don't cut anyone.
All right. And he's going to sheath them. Tristan, you've been a good help thus far. I appreciate it. But don't be afraid to crack some skulls.
Oh, if we find them, I will. Let's say I might need someone to mend kindness afterwards.
Good deal. He's going.
I'm not a fan of people who burn other people's home.
Right. He's going to go in the direction where he believes that they would be entering into town and start looking around.
Okay.
Clint is gonna kind of jog after him. He's just been following along kind of further behind for a bit.
Clint, do you react at all to her kind of following in the background?
Well, she's like catching up to him. She's just been following Tristan and Clint around.
Well, yeah, but I'm not saying that she's trying to hide. I just don't know if Clint would be a fan of that.
No, Clint is just, he's really focused on the task at hand, and, he looks at her for a minute, or every now and again, and, tries to force a soft smile, but then immediately goes back into work.
Okay. All right. We're gonna do a quick little, deviation from this main story. And we're gonna check in on our favorite blue demon child.
Just took a really big bite of muffin to Laura.
Well, you should have thought of that before I just...
How was I supposed to know you were gonna do that? Okay, give me a second, someone tell a joke.
You guys want to hear a
what's-
pirate joke?
Let's hear a pirate joke, yeah.
Now you have to do the joke.
Alright, I don't have a pirate joke.
I have one.
What's your joke, Connor?
No, go
Hey,
ahead.
I'm fucking done. What's a pirate's favorite letter?
It's
the C.
You would think it's R, but it's actually the C.
Yeah.
I got a
yeah.
skeleton joke.
Oh, I think...
What's a skeleton's favorite food? They
No.
can't eat. They don't have fucking stomachs. That's offensive.
Okay, alright.
All right. Done with our
I'm
our
sorry.
20-second intermission. All right.
I'm sorry.
Muffin has been
Once the party leaves, Maka, you have been discussing with Astaya what your plan is to find out how to remove this entity from your body. Astaya has put up many ideas, each one more aggressive and scarier than the last. But it's something. Snots has been very vacant in this process. You don't necessarily blame him. It's very scary. It's bringing up all of his old stuff. The night that the party leaves, you have a night terror. A nightmare that you cannot wake up from. It reminds you of the nightmares you used to have in the Glow Dome, in your prison. You are lying on your back in this wet, purple sand. And you can't seem to get up. Your head feels heavy like a bowling ball. Your arms feel like they don't have any bones in them. What do you do?
I try to get up or call out for help.
You gotta pick one.
Well, if the getting up plan doesn't work, then I will go to plan 2.
Alright, roll a strength save.
Well, that's a 4.
Again, your whole body feels like it has been cemented into the sand.
Did lie, it's a 3. I forgot about minus.
You realize that your hair is matted and filled with this sand. You feel disgusting. Do you call out for help?
Yeah.
What do you say?
calls out just Estaya's name over and over again, because I don't know, it's my girlfriend.
Right, yeah. You hear a bone-chilling response of the one person that you didn't want to hear from. So she's who you go to now, hmm? After all I've done for you. I sound like a jealous spouse, do I not? But that's the thing about pacts, isn't it? They are a contract. They are an agreement. They are a promise. And from the corner of your eye, since you can't lift your head, you see Mortazem fading into existence, standing at your feet, looming over you like a terrifying omen. His hair isn't in its normal fire-curling style. It's flat and black. His skin is graying and thin. You can see slivers of the bone underneath, and his eyes are hollowed out, leaving dark coals that have little tiny embers in them staring at you. Do you say anything back?
I think she just stares for a few moments, trying to like muster the strength to be just like furious right now, before she just sort of coughs a couple times. Ooh, to me was hardly. You did was hardly a contract. You told me nothing. You wanted me. Horrors. Put me at my weakest before fucking robbing me of my soul. Who does that? It's just mean.
Maka.
The
The way he says your name makes your hands curl into fists and your blood boil from underneath your skin. He shouldn't be able to say your name. Not after what he did. And he just clucks his tongue at you and shakes his head. And he says, "There is always a price to pay for breaking your promises. Whether you admit to the promise or not. You're just making it hard on yourself. I'll give you more chances, shall we say, for the time being. Since I'm the one who saw the potential in you. Do you know what she sees? She sees something that she can fix. Because you're broken, Maka. I was the one that was going to fix you. Together, we were going to..." And then he stops. And his mouth just draws out into a thin line. Well, that's not going to happen anymore, is it? You ruined it for yourself. And then he smiles, and his teeth look like they're rotting. There are consequences for disobeying me. I need you to make a con save.
Ah, nards! Fuck. Damn, I got those dungeon shivers. Ooh, ooh. I'm I'm gonna assume that a 3 doesn't save.
It does not. What weapons does Maka have on her right now?
Lean the Unkillable and Clenched Dagger and a whole lot of ball bearings.
Okay. You blink awake. Like your eyelids are curtains being pulled back to reality. And your heart freezes where it is. Astalia's looking up at you in fear and confusion and terror. And as your senses come back to you, you realize that there is something clutched with white knuckles in your hand. As you hold yourself above Astalia
No.
with the dagger against her throat.
Or I'm gonna fucking kill you. I'm coming to your house. I'm getting in the car. I've turned on the car. I'm coming to your house. No, I'm literally...
I'm assuming you pull away.
Yes! What the fuck? Yeah!
Astalia gasps from the breath that she was holding and instinctively pushes you off of her and pulls herself up into a seating position, grabbing her throat and cradling herself. But almost immediately she realizes what this could look like and stops what she's doing and crawls towards you and tries to take the knife away from your hand. Lee?
Did you not hear that last
No.
bit? I hand it to her. Said it, my mic just didn't pick it up.
That's all right.
Discords.
She takes it, throws it onto the floor, and she pulls you to her and holds you close. She is shaking, but she's trying really hard to comfort you. She's whispering to you, just, shh, it's okay. It's all right. It's you didn't mean to. You're all right. It's fine. You're awake now. It's over.
Not over. He's gonna make me hurt you.
No, shh. No, it's okay. It wasn't your fault.
Staya?
What?
I think you need to restrain me.
What?
I think you need to physically restrain me so this shit doesn't happen again.
Maka, I can't.
Did you know how to tie a fucking rope, Astaya? You're a smart woman!
Don't yell at me.
I'm sorry, I'm worried and I don't want to hurt you.
You're gonna wake up, Snots, please. Let's just...
No. Staya, would be worse. You tell him, and he is worried, but probably able to help. Or he wakes up to me covered in your fucking blood!
That's not going to happen! I won't let it happen. Do you understand? I'm sorry, We're gonna figure this out, okay? You have to be brave. You have to believe in us, okay? And she tries to caress the side of your face, trying to make you look at her. You say that again?
I nudge her hand away. I don't really want to look at her right now.
She kind of sits back, kind of props her arm up on her leg.
Staya?
Yeah?
If it really gets back you to kill me.
Her ears fold back, and she gets up and moves towards the door. But she doesn't leave. She just kind of folds her arms and stands there, her back to you. You're not going to die. You're not going to. It's not an option. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out what's going on. We'll talk to people. We'll read. I will overturn every scholar's goddamn library if it means that you will be okay.
Love you.
And her ears perk back up. She kind of gives you like a side glance with a tired smile. I love you too. And we're gonna cut back.
Oh, just slapping me around a little bit, just so I don't get too comfortable in my fucking temp character. Remembering that I still gotta deal with this shit when we go home.
Yep. All right. Ty.
Yes?
Was anyone else following him to the hospital?
If Willem can walk yet, yes.
Why wasn't Willem able to walk?
He twisted his ankle trying to help the fireman.
Oh yeah, he's just sitting in front of a business with a broken ankle. Well, a sprained ankle, but I forgot about that. Right. Sure. We'll say that after a little while the kink subsides and you're able to
carry you around. I'm sorry.
Okay.
You're able to kind of get to your feet and hobble towards the infirmary.
Okay, yeah, I'm gonna go with Ty then.
All right. Excuse me. Oh. You make your way into the courtyard, where there is fresh grass and a small fountain that is shut off because it's getting into the colder months. You make your way through the open hallways, just kind of bobbing around trying to see if you can find where he is. Can you make a perception check?
That's a 21.
Nice. Poor Lee. Got like a 4 and a 3 and everyone's getting like 23 and 21.
I just
Sorry,
got
my
last
good rolls.
time.
That's okay. It makes for better story anyway. You
you're able to kind of... what?
What the fuck would Messiah's dad done?
Well, we'll never know.
Is your daughter in the streets like a boss?
You're not my daughter. You, by, sheer luck, you kind of pop your head into one of the ground floor rooms, because the door is open, and you see Ty, kind of standing on a chair next to the bed with a very pretty, but pretty beaten up looking elf woman. Ty, remind me again, is there a specific class feature that lets you check for diseases or gives you an advantage on that? Or is it just a medicine check?
Diseases? I don't think so.
Okay.
I do have multiple mechanics that theoretically could just cure diseases.
Well, go ahead and make a medicine check first, just to see what she's dealing with.
It's just like, I cured you of the flu, and it's just like, I don't have the flu.
That's an 11.
Unfortunately, you are not able to tell what is ailing her. There's a problem, because elves don't normally get sick. So, and you can tell that she is very, like, full-blooded elf. But she is, like, shivering and sweating, and she's in kind of like a comatose. So you're not sure if she's sick or if she was poisoned or, what could be causing this. But you know that it's not right. And just as you were finishing that assessment, you see Willem kind of limp into the room.
What happened to you?
Don't ask. I tried to be helpful and I failed.
I see.
Speaking of which, could I possibly be helpful here?
Could you check for some sort of crazy magic thing that could be causing this? Elves shouldn't get sick. It just doesn't happen.
Oh, alright. I'm gonna... Ooh, should I just roll Arcana or, like, detect magic? I don't want to do... I'm gonna roll Arcana, that it covers a wider range, I feel.
Willem is still refusing to use spells.
No spells. Arcana check is better. The better. That's a 9.
Oh, yeah. You kind of poke around a little, but you're trying to be respectful, and so you're not. He's like, this doesn't seem like anything magical, but you could also just not be looking in the right place.
Can I just also just cast Detect Magic?
Yes, you can.
Just do both of those. I'm gonna do that.
Okay. So you finally give in and kind of raise your hand over her torso. You feel your earring start to glimmer and heat up slightly. And you feel like you close your eyes, but you can still kind of see the room around you, but in more of like a really dark gray scale. Roll a d20 for me.
5.
Okay, all right. It's not a 1.
It's not a 1, though.
It's not a 1. Okay, so you yourself obviously are a hotspot. You kind of have some sense of like a little tiny blip down the street. You're assuming that's one of your friends because a lot of your friends have magic, but you don't feel anything with the elf besides her like innate magical abilities that all elves have.
Right. Okay. No like trace of a spell.
No, it's all just inner blood.
Well, there's nothing magical as far as I can tell.
Alright. Well, that leaves one thing I can do. And Ty is going to pull out an elixir of restoration.
Ooh.
And he is going to gently pour that down this nice lady's throat.
Okay.
he pulls out his new short sword
That
and
was
freaking
really
stabs him.
Oh, die.
Like Clint just comes back and she's just a bloodied mess on the bed. It's bloodletting.
Like,
It's good for her.
Post surgery. Her humors are out of
27
balance.
stab wounds.
Her
I didn't have
chakras
any
are
leeches.
unbalanced.
Come for the chakras. They did nothing wrong.
Chakras are just rocks embedded in people's bodies. All right. So you kind of like keep her head propped up and pour it down. What does an elixir of restoration do?
The exact definition is cures a single poison, disease, or condition.
Okay. Roll a medicine check.
Okay.
It's a 1.
Hopefully a
Oh,
better one.
thank goodness. Okay, that's a 24.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
So you pour it down her throat, very slowly, so she doesn't choke. You see her throat contract, like she's swallowing it, and you guys kind of wait for a tense moment, and then all of a sudden she lurches forward, eyes wide open, and she just hurls all over herself.
Oh.
Crap.
And she's coughing and spluttering, but her limbs aren't really like react, like her limbs are twitching like she's trying to move them, but she can't. Kind of like you do when you're like sleepwalking, and after she's done pouring out the contents of her stomach, her eyes kind of roll back in her head and she flops back onto her pillow. Ty,
That is really not good.
Yeah, because of your really good medicine check, you know that her body rejected it, which could be a sign that it is not a specific disease, but rather something that was put in her.
Oh. Oh no. Ty is, well, first of all, he's gonna start cleaning up all of the vomit.
Can I cast prestidigitation to do that? Would that work?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna do that.
You like plugging your nose, you kind of like frantically wave your hand over the bed, and you watch the disgusting contents kind of evaporate and disappear.
Is there anyone else in this room?
Is there anyone else? No, not at the moment.
Oh.
The nurse is currently off doing her rounds, so.
So, it's not poison?
Whatever it is, because it could be a poison, but you know that there are certain poisons that the elixir cannot fix. But those poisons are, like, impossible to come by. And also highly illegal.
Silver point.
I mean, I feel like
Silver
highly
point.
illegal is less. Because that just makes sense. But,
What kind of poison isn't highly illegal?
That's
Good point.
Fair.
Yeah.
That'll
You
poison
got us
for
there,
a while.
Wombat.
You got us there, Wombat.
I mean, no, that's a fair point.
I like how the rest of us just accepted it.
They're illegal
I mean,
poisons. Like rat poison.
acid's pretty chill.
Yeah, rat poison's like is like an over-the-counter poison. What the heck?
Yeah.
Don't need a
It's really-
prescription for that.
I don't like this.
Super easy to kill your mom, kids.
Oh no.
Don't.
Don't
tell the audience that.
Apparently pretty easy to
Don't
kill
do that.
Clint's mom.
Yeah.
Whew, okay.
What on earth was that?
Looks like her body rejected the cure, but That doesn't make sense. The only sort of poison that could keep that from working is
Poison?
crazy rare.
She's not just sick then.
Doesn't seem like it. Or if she is, it's no kind of sickness that I've ever seen or heard about. Ever.
So, do you know the name of this very rare poison?
What are your guys' passive perceptions?
12.
13.
Not
Everybody's
bad.
or just theirs?
There's just bears everywhere.
No, that's not what I said.
My favorite D&D encounter. Suddenly bears.
Suddenly bears. He's not particularly trying to be sneaky. You guys hear some heavy footsteps coming towards the door. That's got like. They're not spurs. It's like the jingling of like a really heavy belt.
They're not spurs, Kai.
He's a whatever.
Farmer. He's not a cowboy.
Are you sure about that?
Unless.
Wait, no!
Lee, what have you done?
Lee,
what have you done?
Spoiler meme in general chat.
See, the audience isn't even gonna know what happened.
I didn't even
Spoiler
know
meme in general chat. Someone wanna explain?
Wow.
Can you edit that in the video so that the audience can see?
I don't understand what it was.
Wow. Cross out mid-session meme.
Wow, alright.
Yeah, first one. Woo! The very first meme was a spoiler. Thanks, Lee.
Yeah, for those of you at home.
Don't worry
For those of you at home, one of our players apparently just accidentally put in a meme that just kind of spoiled the whole surprise. Sort of.
I was getting a meme about bears.
So
I didn't see it.
I'm gonna put it on screen, but you guys won't have any clue what it means until later. So, anyway,
That's
you two kind of look behind you guys, and Mr. Shepherd comes in through the doorway and kind of jolts a little bit from seeing two complete strangers over his wife's bedside, and he goes,
"Oh, Mr. Shepherd, I thought I thought we were talking about Clint for a sec."
Please, Mr. Shepherd's my father.
Was the picture I meant to send.
Ah.
No, thank you.
He kind of
he's a doctor.
I'm sorry. What are you two supposed to be doing in here?
He's a doctor, and I'm helping.
You're helping.
Oh, I don't have medical training, but
Excuse.
But I do have magical experience, and we thought that it might have been something magical, so that's what I was checking for. I can leave now if you'd like.
Well, as long as having a magic specialist doesn't come up on the bill, I suppose I can't complain.
I don't think we're being paid, but whatever.
Well, I'm not paying for this. Well, hot diggity, it's my lucky day, and he's absolutely not smiling at all. He's making these jokes. He's not smiling. He's very pissed.
Yeah, that's fair.
And you kind of get a sense of like, oh, this is where Clint gets it from. I see the resemblance now. He walks over to you, Ty, and he's I didn't know that my wife would be observed. Is that the word? Observed by someone from Weehaven. Care to explain? I thought that I was supposed to be seen by an actual human.
Hi. He has this look on his face that, like, it's a little bit like difficult for normal people to like really decipher because it's a very strange face that he's making. But Willem, because you have known Ty for so long, you've only seen this face like 2 times before. He is absolutely livid.
Can you roll an intimidation check?
Is it like
can I also purple?
You want to rage at this guy?
I don't want to rage. I just want to purple.
What does that mean?
What does that even mean?
You want to fuck Clint's
for
dad?
those of you who don't know, in the description of whenever Ty rages, he like his veins appear purple for a little bit. So,
oh yeah, I forgot about
yeah.
I want to purple.
All right.
I cannot. It's okay. I'll just roll intimidation like a good little halfling.
Hmm.
Where is that? That is 15.
Okay. He kind of stops in his tracks and like raises an eyebrow at you. Fine. I don't want to be starting any trouble. I just want to know what's wrong with my wife so that I can get her out of here.
Fair enough. Ty calms down a bit and then looks back at Miss Shepherd.
How bad is it? And his voice takes on a more tender and worried tone.
Yeah. It's not good. I've done everything that I can, but from what I can tell, this isn't some sort of disease. It's poison.
Poison?
A rare poison. One that most people would never even realize exists or much less have access to.
Well, who would do that to her? What? Why would she deserve that? She ain't done nothing but be an absolute angel her entire life.
Is anyone hold a grudge against you? Or perhaps your son?
And his eyes go like crazy narrow. What are you implying, Doc?
I'm saying that if anyone were to hold some sort of grudge, they're someone with access to lots of bad things. They're the only people that I could think of that might do something like this, or could do something like this. I don't know much about you or Clint, but does anyone come to mind?
How'd you know about my son's name?
Ty looks flustered for a second. I completely forgot to tell you, I have been traveling with Clint for a while now. Me and a party of 6 other people. This Willem here, he's also part of that party. Hi, my name's Ty.
Landon.
Sorry, I forgot
Point
to
is,
mention that.
so you're not the doctor that was assigned to her, is what you're saying.
Actually, I didn't see any doctor here.
So you just decided it'd be a good idea to waltz into my wife's hospital room and do all of your hospital things to her without my consent? Or with the hospital's consent at that?
I just wanted to help.
I don't need your help. What I need you to do is to get the hell out of this room. And he is like nose to nose with you right now.
Ty, he does not back down. Like, he does not back up or anything. He's just staring him down for a bit. But finally, he concedes and just steps off of his stool and just walks out. Not another word.
Okay. And I want to assume that Willem follows him. Tirza's having internet issues.
Yeah, that's probably...
All right, let's go to Clint, Tristan, and Volka. Nightmare Scenario Part 2. What are you guys doing?
No tracks, nothing. There's no tracks because you said they covered up with like burns, but like.
Right. So you guys were gonna
or...
interview some people, right? See if anyone saw someone do it.
Interview, right?
Yeah, we're gonna.
Sure, but like I was asking, like, so there's no like direct like lead. There's no direct lead.
There is no direct lead at the moment. No. Unfortunately,
right.
This person covered their tracks fairly well, and that is annoying to you because it reminds you of your own criminal days.
Okay. Clint's like, well, maybe we should make this educational. Let's see how shitty the police system is. Let's see if they know anything. Clint's gonna start marching over to, the guard station and the barracks and begin to, very pissed, kind of march over to it and start banging on the door.
Okay. You hear some shuffling and because when you came up to it, you heard a lot of like yelling and partying and guards being guards, and then you started banging on the door and you hear them kind of like shushing each other and laughing and hollering. And then the door swings open and there's a very beefy looking man dressed in kind of like casual leather armor, stuff that you would just wear around town. He's pretty clean shaven. He's got a bandana wrapped around his neck. He looks at you just, yeah, what can I do you for? He like wipes something off his lip.
Clint smiles, or forces one at least. He's like, hi there. See, I was in the market for some sheep, because, well, I think it's pretty interesting. I think that the shepherding business is gonna be failing, considering my goddamn house is burnt down. Fucking do something.
Like, dude, god damn.
Yeah, having a good time. You smell like beer and smoke. He's gonna. Oh, you're really snooping to see who the fuck burnt my goddamn house down. You're doing a great work. Our taxes pay for you, fucker.
Volko kind of like taps his shoulder, like, dude, chill.
Can I see that intimidated?
First roll a deception check.
Deception? That was all truthful.
No, I know.
For what? Okay.
Well, you'll see in a second.
All right. 15 plus dirty 20.
Okay. Now roll an intimidation check.
Okay.
I was checking to see if he recognized you.
Okay.
No! It's bad.
No.
It's not good.
Ladies and gentlemen, Clint's baby voice.
Intimidation. 10?
10? Okay, alright. He's definitely taken aback that he has been interrupted by this yelling, citizen. But then he folds his arms, leans against the door frame, and just laughs. I like you. You got spunk. Now, listen. We knew about the fire. We were the ones helping pail out the water. So, you don't need to be yelling at us about drinking on the job. We're allowed to do that. And yes, your tax dollars pay for us, but we're the ones that keep your asses out of the fires. Now,
I'll be more than happy to help you figure out who did it. Is that what you said? I'm gonna need to see some coin first.
Oh, you need to see coin, do you?
Wait. Wait. So she kind of steps forward a bit. And she's like, "How about you do your fucking job and be a decent person for someone who almost lost his fucking family?"
Roll intimidation.
Yay.
Can I help with it?
Yeah, okay.
Sure. You have you can get advantage.
You have two very angry murder people.
Yeah, well, you're also like 5'6", so.
And also very tired.
Also very tired.
Yeah. Okay. Please be good. Ooh. Wait, I have to pull up my thing. I have so many tabs with memes. 19.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, that's non-nat 20. Never mind, non-nat 20.
Okay. He's talking to Clint, and Clint's like, "Oh, you need coin." I'm gonna deck you. And then he looks over Clint's shoulder at this terrifying blue demon lady that is currently glaring at him like she's about to gut him like a pig. And he kind of, all right. Just calm down. I was just joking around. Hey, Felix! And the guy, like a pretty skinny dude, like a ginger with like tons of freckles on his face, kind of lurches up out of bed. Yep, I'm up. This guy needs some help locating a criminal. Think you can handle it? Oh well, he's like fumbling around for his glasses. I think I could. I think I've got some time to kill today. He's pulling on his suspenders, trying to like situate himself. They're both obviously drunk.
Can't tell if I hate or love this guy, to be honest.
Finally and universally.
The guy that answered the door, kind of looks both of you up and down, and then like kind of looks at Tristan since he hasn't said anything, and he's like, whatever.
Tristan just smiles at him.
He gives him like an awkward, like smile back. Like, okay.
That enemy was pretty good, and it could be way worse.
Well, Felix will help you out. He'll do some asking around, and if you wouldn't mind just waiting outside, and we'll get you the information that we have. Is that good? Well, pleasure making your acquaintance for the three of you. And he turns to leave and go back inside.
Clint sighs, and then he looks at Vilka and smiles and then says, "Thanks."
You're welcome. You need the help right now. I know.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of hot when you do that.
This please no.
Tristan is involuntarily puffed ASMR.
Could you two lovebirds do that after we found the wannabe murderers?
Do you say that in character?
Yes.
She like pats Clint's shoulder, and she's about to say something, but she turns to Tristan as he talks, and she gives like a fine, yeah, we need to keep going.
Yep. Clint fake whispers and begins to walk. He fake whispers to to Vilka and says, "Don't worry, we'll do it in his bedroll." It's perfectly audible to Tristan.
She like holds back a laugh.
Where? To the Magnificent.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So you guys... Tristan, you have any comeback to that, or are we gonna move on from that one?
Tristan is just like this. Kids.
Volka's 2 years younger than you, dude. Or 3.
In sarcasm, Tristan is about 60.
Tristan is mentally
kind of
60.
Common dating for the human mind, actually.
Yes. So you guys wait like a minute in the, cool autumn sun, and evidently Felix comes out wearing the Fairbend guard outfit that Clint loves to make fun of. It is this, like, poofy hat with stripes and a feather stuck in it, and they've got, like, those Renaissance-style, like, poof pants and leggings, and it is a sight to see.
Clint says, wow, Felix was it? If I weren't from around the area, I'd think that you were in the Navy.
He just kind of looks at you with not even like anger, just confusion. The joke went completely over his head. But Vincent and Judy hops.
Aw, I love Judy. She's a baby.
Alright, so, do you guys want to go with him, or do you want to just hang out while he goes and finds information?
Could we also look for information?
Yeah, you can do that. So he, kind of brandishes the parchment that he's going to be taking notes on. He says, all right. Well, I think that if we split up and cover more ground, I think that would help us a mighty fine bit. You, sir, in the robes, you mind tagging along with me and seeing what we can find?
Oh, I'm always happy to help the local law enforcement.
Oh, right, that is what I am. And so he kind of pulls you along to one side of the town, and Clint and Volka, you are left to your own devices.
Volga, yeah, she like walks along with him and stuff, and then she's like, "Shit, Maka!
What about her?
Have you not noticed that she's not here?"
No, not really. No offense to her, just been wrapped up in my own things.
Right.
And he kind of looks at the still smoldering house.
Right. So Maka, she's fine. She just wanted to stay back with her family for a little bit until she thinks she can deal with her problems.
Okay.
And then we'll go and see her again whenever we head back.
I missed the little scamp already.
Aww.
Huh. What do you think her and her gal pal are up to?
Oh my
Maka's
gosh, they
gal
were
pal.
gal pals.
Like, that is the most straightest way to say that, like with, like, not admitting that they're dating.
It's like Sappho and her friend. They're probably trying to figure out whatever is going on with her, I hope. And that Astaya can make her happy.
Yeah, Staya's, that's a firecracker. God damn, she's a little bit of a cunt, but you know, it's you know.
Hate that you shit talk Astaya when Maka's not around to defend her.
Get wrecked. Like, he's like, I'm glad it makes Maka happy.
Yes, I'm glad.
If only someone had placed a note.
What?
Oh yeah.
What? There's
it's
a
been
note?
a few weeks. I will remind you.
Well, Tristan didn't share it with anyone. He kept it to himself.
Tristan has it?
Yeah.
Tristan has the note. He's just like, we are currently in a murder investigation. It can wait until the evening.
I left last time, so I don't remember.
Yeah, he read up until, like, the point where she's like, so stop reading if you're not this person. He's like, okay, and he closed the book and put it away.
That's really sweet of him. I wouldn't have done that.
I wouldn't have done that.
We mostly respect privacy.
Anyways, sorry.
So, yeah, so Clint's just gonna keep walking. Are there houses that were near the Shepherd household?
Not particularly, because it's kind of on the outskirts, and farmers don't tend to have their houses right next to each other. But you did have 2 neighbors that you used to like trade wares with on occasion, and like if there was a holiday, then you guys would get together and have like a barbecue or something.
Oh yeah, the Clint family barbecue.
The Clint family barbecue, yeah.
To this day was the funniest joke I've ever made.
That was really good. I'm pissed.
It's like, it's one of those jokes where you're like, dang, that is really good. I am sending a SWAT team to your house. Like, I'm gonna kill you.
Okay, he's gonna start heading over to one of the houses, and he's gonna brief Vilka on, like, vaguely who they are. Family, friends, sorta, that sort of.
Okay. So you guys go and, like, walk past the Shepherd house, and notice the unharmed sheep that are currently off in the fields, grazing since Clint let them out. You go up to the house on the left. It is a kind of a more run-down house. It's got several, like, makeshift additions. It's like a house made of porches. And you remember that they have crops like everybody does, but they also breed hunting dogs. So as you guys get, who did we lose someone?
No, we're good.
Okay.
What just, I'm sorry, my thing closed. I'm sorry.
Oh yeah, no, you're good. As you guys approach, you already hear the angry barks and hunting bays of the hounds that are already in their kennels and fences. Trying to think. Yeah.
All right. So, is anyone outside or?
Make a perception check.
Volka's gonna like kind of stay a bit behind because she doesn't want to scare away the neighbors.
Perception. That's a 21.
Okay. Sorry. You see a little boy in worn down overalls, running around with a couple of dogs out in the front. Hasn't noticed you yet. He is currently trying to wrestle a very large stick out of a vicious-looking hound's mouth. But, like, he's taunting it like it's a puppy. You're like, that kid's gonna lose some fingers. Other than that, you don't see anyone else outside.
How old do they look?
Maybe 7.
Oh god.
Oh, this is gonna be fun. Clint's gonna, like, slowly walk up, and he's gonna take his hat off, and he's gonna say, hey, Bort.
He looks up, and he finally wrenches the stick out of the dog's mouth and, like, waves with it. The, like, hordes of slobber, like, glistening in the sun.
Yum. He's gonna say, like, your guardian's home.
He kind of gives you, like, a look, and then, because you're kind of still pretty far away from him, and then he goes like, oh, and he runs inside screaming, Ma! Pa! People are here! They're here to see you! And, like, he runs inside with the screen door slamming behind him. You guys reach... Oh, go ahead, sorry.
I love how we send in the people who hate children the most to deal with the child.
Yeah, it's great. This kid's probably gonna die.
Plan. Is that, like, foreshadowing, or is that a joke? Because
Gorham's gonna die.
3 grid points.
I have 3 grit points.
And
I use my 3 grit points to punt the child. You make it to the kind of front yard area. The dogs are going absolutely crazy. Both of you make animal handling checks for the 2 dogs that are out of the pen.
Can we help each other?
Sure.
We just get out our weapons. We just get out our weapons.
Lee, you're really good at this.
Hey, not 20.
Should I also do it with help or no?
No, I'm sure Clint's got it.
I was just okay. Oh, I didn't know that I was making the check. I'm sorry.
I mean, I was going to too.
Nat 20, 23.
23.
Is
okay.
The actual number.
The dogs kind of give you like looks and kind of like sniff in your direction. Clint immediately goes into animal mode. He like crouches down, like whistles to them, and they kind of go over and start sniffing him and like kind of nudging his bags with their noses and going over to Volca and like just fascinated by her huge tail. And eventually you are very quick friends. They're jumping around you, barking. They have decided that you are friends. You hear some kind of shouting in the house, and a kind of a bustier looking woman with a huge pile of red hair pulled up on her head. And it looks almost like she has wrapped it up and tried to put it in a bun with like rough twine. She's got lots of gathered skirts all around her. She's got these like really worn shoes. Her hands are like covered in flour. And she's like, I'm so sorry about that. Little Feynman really enjoys new visitors. Is there anything I'm supposed to be helping you with? And she kind of like pats her hands to get the flour off.
Yeah, have you seen any, well, and Clint's gonna look a little bit nervous asking this. It's like, shady figures around lately.
Shady figures?
Cause, and then Clint's gonna gesture towards the smoldering house.
Oh, you mean about that? I was just getting up out of bed when that happened. Scared me out my wits. Oh, I really hope that neither of you are injured in that. Are you investigating about it, or? And she kind of she gets nervous for a slight second, like she's face to face with the people that were directly affected by it. But then you say, yeah, we're investigating. She's good. What a terrible thing that must have happened to the shepherds. I've been neighbors with them for, well, ever since their little son scampered off. Haven't really heard from him since. Anyway, I'm getting off track. Do you want to come inside? Have some tea? I've got some bread in the oven.
Clint's gonna look at Vilka as like, have you eaten or?
Not really.
Sure, we'd love to.
Wonderful. You both just uncomfortably step towards the house. You guys walk inside. She kind of just leaves you to go into the kitchen and bring out some refreshments. And you guys are almost immediately bombarded with a horde of puppies. There are so many puppies in this room, it is hard to see where the floor is.
Wait, what kind of puppies? I need to know.
Oh, all kinds. tons. I mean, not like the really like nice purebred ones, because this is, you know, the West, and so they're all bred for like hunting and killing. And
How many square feet of puppies?
how many
are there?
square feet of puppies are we talking? We're talking like at least 10 square feet of puppies.
5 cubic feet of puppies.
5 cubic feet of puppies.
10-foot radius. All right.
It's like really hard to step so that you don't step on them, and then when you do step, you
Hey, gang.
Yeah.
Anyone else hear Connor's grenade puppy comment?
I'm sorry, huh? No.
What?
You're the only one that heard it. Holy shit.
I heard it, I just didn't say anything.
I didn't hear
sorry.
it. Let's repeat it for the people in the back.
else would
I
make
said,
you
you said,
asking?
I asked how many square feet of puppies are there. You said 10 feet. I'm like, perfect. A grenade covers 10 feet.
Gosh.
Connor ask.
That's a fair point.
Anyway, that's a stupid joke. Continue.
So where you do step, you feel a really like thin, threadbare carpet that has obviously been pissed on for years. So
By
the
the
inside
woman
of
or
the
the dog?
house doesn't smell nice at all. It smells like fur and pee and dog food. And so she brings out some surprisingly cold water in these like tin glasses, and sets them on this like rickety table with like 5 all mismatching chairs. And then she's like, "What? You just make yourselves at home. Don't mind the little ones. I'll have the bread out in a minute."
Right,
And she
good, great.
bustles into the kitchen again.
Gods, they need to open the window in here.
Yeah. Watch out for landmines. He says, looking
Oh my
around at the
gosh.
carpet.
Oh, trust me, I'm being as careful as possible.
Yep.
Go ahead and make dex saves, both of you.
Oh
I
no.
was just about to say.
Now that you mention that.
Dang it. Connor, why?
Get fucked.
I'm blaming you for this. No, it fell off.
What fell off? Your fingers?
No!
The fingers fell off.
19.
I hate you. 10.
10? That's good enough. You both managed to
Okay.
not step in any landmines.
Okay.
And make your way over to one of the chairs and sit in it without breaking it. She's kind of like talking to you while she's kind of checking on the bread, making sure that it doesn't burn. She's, "So, where are you two coming from? I don't think I've seen you in the guard barrack, so you're just kind of doing your own freelance work, or what is all this about?"
Sure. Yeah.
Yes.
Well,
We
that's
just kind of go around. Yeah. We know the shepherds, so just trying to help out.
what a good family they are. Real honest workers, even after all of the
Oh.
tragedy that they've suffered over the years. I've really tried my best to give them things when I can. I even got that Landon man his own dog at one point, but poor fella got run over by a wagon. So what can you do?
What the fuck? You didn't need to do that. What?
You can hear the sounds of the brick oven as she's kind of like scraping, trying to get the tray out. Well, that's just right, lovely, that young people are taking responsibility for the things that happen in this town. And she brings out the bread and starts handing them to you, even though they're like piping hot.
Thanks. Clint's gonna nibble a bit and say, said you woke up when you whenever the crisis was happening.
Yes, I've been getting a lot of morning sickness lately. I think I'm about to have me third now. And she kind of like pats her belly as she sits down. So yeah, I've been sleeping in, unfortunately. Usually I'm up by like 4 a.m., but today I slept in until like 9, and by that point, my husband was already on his way over to help with all the water.
Oh, that's great. That's great. Have you seen any? Did you see anyone prior, or any figures that were new in town? It's a relatively small town, Fairbend.
Oh, yes, of course. Well, let me think. The DM's gonna roll here real fast. Well, I heard quite a bit of shuffling in the cemetery just past here. It was such a weird thing to be hearing things at night. I thought it was just my own imagination, but apparently it might have actually been something very serious. Is that ringing any bells?
Could you tell if it was multiple people or just one?
Oh, I can't say. I was so groggy and it was so dark that I just assumed that it was dogs or maybe a rogue scarecrow. But jokes aside, I mean, I couldn't say that it was more than 2 or 3 people at most.
Okay. All right. Any other details, ma'am?
Well, I definitely think that actually happened, because all of my dogs were absolutely going mad. I think right before the fire, the house caught fire. But I wasn't able to get out until it was already too late. I just assumed that it was just a mistake on the husband's part, or, a prank that went wrong. Whatever it was, it's truly terrifying.
Are your dogs trained?
Most of them. Well, the ones that are in the pens are. These little ones couldn't sniff out a criminal if they tried.
Could we borrow one?
How much are they to buy?
Oh, well,
Just one.
I mean, it depends on the situation. I mean, with the more prestigious, like the Mastiffs, we've got a couple of those, but they're quite expensive, at least probably 100 silver just for those, but that's mostly because they're quite rare and hard to find breeders out this far out west.
What about a dog that's, do you have bloodhounds?
Oh, yeah, we've got quite a few of those, and you could probably get 2 or 3 of them for, 20 silver. I'd have to discuss it with my husband once he gets back, but I'd be happy to assist. If you knew the shepherds, then, I might even be able to get you a discount.
Well, it might be, Clint, immediately looks a bit worried thinking about it and looks over to Vilka, is like, maybe, you discuss it with our, friends, but how much would renting them be?
I mean, I think I'm starting to pick up what you're putting down, but if you just need them to sniff out the perpetrator, as long as you promise that you bring them back, I could probably lend them to you for the day, just as a favor.
Well, if they do find something, maybe we can at least do something for you.
Well, it'd be very much appreciated, ma'am, and I'd like that a lot.
Well, anything I can do to help out my neighbours. The shepherds have done quite a few things for us, Patricks.
Well, Mrs. Patrick, I believe we've got some work to do. Do you have lead for the dogs?
Yes, of course. And she kind of gets up and goes over to one of the many porches that they have. As you just come this way and watch your step. We've got all of the harnesses and leads over in this corner. And she kind of picks her way over the dogs and opens the door. You hear her kind of rustling about in a bunch of rucksacks and comes back out with 3 very sturdy leather leads.
Perfect. Thank you so much. We'll return these as soon as possible.
Well, I would hope so. Gonna have to have a bit of a compensation if they don't come back.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. Don't worry. They will stay safe. And, all right, so I guess just get them leashed up and get ready to go.
All right. Let's go over to Tristan and Felix. So you guys, since they're going back over to the northern side of town, you guys are going to be going to the southern side. Look at those babies!
Oh,
Oh my gosh!
so cute.
Eat them. So you two are going down to the southern side, which is where all of the, like, inns and rental places and stables are located. So Felix is kind of looking around, and he's, well, where to start? I don't think that the criminal would be stupid enough to stay in one of our inns, knowing that he would get recognized. So, what do you reckon? Where do you think we should start?
Fist just looks around. Well, they're probably. I mean, I would assume they would not be from around here. I think some town of this size would know their people and would know if they had someone in their ranks that burned down houses.
I like the way you think. Yeah, that is very true. Anyone in Fairbend knows better than to pull off something like this.
Well, then, does the town has any bottlenecks inside and outside? Like no fences around it, specific gates, so it's just open.
Well,
like...
it's got one main like road that kind of has the main hub with all the businesses and the mayor's house and the city hall and the inns and all that. And then there are surrounding like clusters of houses, like communal houses and baths and things like that. And then farther out are crops and farmers' houses and fields for the livestock and stuff. Yeah.
Well, since I mean, most of the town that was awake probably helped out to put out the fire.
Right.
The others are probably still at home. But whoever did that probably made their way out of town just a few hours before.
Yeah, sounds reasonable.
I don't know any people in town that are up on the road, on the streets at early times in the morning. No. Slowly street performer or someone who sleeps outside, or someone who has the job that requires him to wake up before the sun rises and stays on the road.
Well, it definitely wouldn't hurt to ask any of the local farmers that might have frequented one of the inns if maybe they were having some trouble with the missus. But you're right, there should be a couple lowlifes around here that we could question. And he starts kind of strutting over to one of the alleyways in between two buildings. You guys find a small, frail, and absolutely wired woman sitting against the wooden wall of a business. And she is currently holding a rat in between her hands, and she's having a very intense argument with it, but kind of like in a hushed tone, like she doesn't want to be, seen having an argument with a rat.
Okay. This is just putting on a smile. This is good morning, madam. Good morning, rat. Could I ask you some questions? We're looking for someone.
Can you roll a persuasion check, Tristan?
Of course.
Are you asking the person or the rat?
Or the rat.
Actually, if you give me 10 minutes, I could ask the rat.
Speak with animals, man.
It is a ritual. Oh, that's not a nice number. But I have at least some plus in persuasion. So that is a 12.
Okay. Also, side note, the rat would probably say nothing but like, please get her off of me. Please let me go. Please. I have a family. She does not react to you, like, at all. And the guard next to you just, like, rolls his eyes. And she's been giving us trouble for some time. You gotta use some charisma with this particular folk. And he cups his hands over his mouth and he's like, Lina! And she jumps and the rat jumps out of her hands and scurries off and she, now what you gonna do that for? And she's like, she's rearranging the rags that she's wearing and like pulling the like towel hood that she's got over her head kind of like farther back, and you can see how matted and greasy her hair is. Lena, we have some serious law business. I can't have you fraternizing with your lovers at a time like this. That is none of your business, Felix. Now what do you need me for? And he kind of nods at Tristan, like now you can talk to her.
Well, madam, we wanted to ask you if you saw someone leaving Main Street just a few hours ago, before the fire.
Well, you got a description for me?
Well, probably someone who walked away from the fire and probably smelled slightly of lamp oil. But no, I don't. If I would know how that person would look, I would probably not ask around that much.
She's like,
I'm
she's like grimacing as she's pulling something out of her hair while she's listening to you. She like grabs like a black something and just flicks it away. I don't recall anything specific, other than a rather shady-looking but just rustic-looking cowboy walked this way. But he didn't want anything to do with me, so I let him be and went back to my fiancé. And then she does this horrible, like metal grating giggle. Felix rolls his eyes and he's like, have you been using the coca again, Lena? She again just like scoffs at him. Again, none of your business what I use my money for. So that is tax money that you are using. The government is giving you that to give yourself a better life, and you're using it to tweak out.
Please, sir. I would like to have a conversation with this nice lady.
Fine.
He says, so, how it came around. He just puts his hand in his pocket and just plays around with a little silver coin. So, do you think you might remember a few details?
I mean, I could. What's in it for poor little Lena?
So he just coughs a bit as sorry, I'm new with it. I thought the playing around with a silver coin in my hand was, giving out enough incentive.
I mean, it should have.
He's a bit flustered, so I thought this was how it worked.
And she kind of comes to and looks down at your hand. Oh! You gotta forgive little old Lena. She's a little bit blind at the bottom of her eyeball. A little too many experimental injections. Anyway, I think that could be plenty. I could get me some decent nights. Alright, young one, I think I can help you out. Let's see here. I remember him wearing some kind of big scarf that went around his neck. And like I said, he was a very rustic cowboy. He had the nicest spurs on his boots. And I think that, he was always having a big cigar in his mouth, like he was trying to prove something. Other than that, he tried to cover just about everything. It seemed like he didn't want to be seen. Which, if you ask me, he was already seen by anyone important. and they probably was seen leaving with him for some nightly fun.
Great.
I'm committing to this, guys. I'm trying so hard right now.
It's just Tristan's like slightly uncomfortable. It tries to be like extremely polite, but he's just it's not easy. He says, "Okay, so in which direction did you saw him leave? Inside town, outside of town?"
Oh, well, it's hard to tell. I was so far back in this alleyway that I couldn't see much of where he was going, but he was definitely going more towards south end of town.
I was just want to say that, lady, it's one street. Either you go in one direction or the other. But,
It's well, I don't rightly know my left from my right. I have more important things to think about.
Well, I suppose that is. So, I thank you for your help, and he just flips over the coin. Pleasure talking with you. I hope you find your little red friend, and have a nice rest of the day. And yeah, he just looks at you. Did Tristan saw like any kind of sheep in which would have at least a bath, like a bath bucket? Something in like in that cost direction. That it's not. It's really basic, but you can like wash yourself there and get something to eat.
Well, she has one, but it's currently filled with some substances that make you think that it wasn't used for bathing, but rather for defecating.
No. I mean, as I walked through town, was there like an inn or a place to stay which looked like that would be.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I misunderstood and just grossed everyone out. Wonderful.
That was terrible.
Thank you. Thank you so much for that.
Fairbend is a pretty rural town. So, like, you know, they do have several cheap places that give, you know, not as well-off people a place to clean themselves, but it's usually like, you know, just a big metal tub or bucket.
Yeah, I mean that's enough. He just would if he had like saw that place of a name, he would just say and as an additional thing, I'm going to head to the name of that place, and I will pay in advance for a bath and a meal for you. Just, you know, tell him the priest paid for you.
A priest? Well, I'll be. I didn't know that the gods were looking out for me.
Well, at least I am.
You're funny. We'll see if they'll let me in this time. They don't particularly like people like me.
Well, well, it would be paid for. I will put in a word that.
You do that.
Just gives like the tiniest of polite bows and the alleyway. Or just the moment he gets out of the alleyway, like uses thaumaturgy for a little breeze to, like, you know, get the alleyway dirt away from him.
Woohoo! You like leave, and Felix is like standing like right outside, leaning up against a like porch fence, and he's. So I'm assuming it went well.
I mean, it went better than expected.
Well, you're definitely one of the first
okay.
people to get Lena to talk openly.
I have a connection to lunatics and delusional people.
Right. Well, good for you. It's an interesting talent.
Apparently, a cowboy came through, scarf, smoking a cigar. Definitely tried not to be seen.
He kind of smirks a bit, and he's like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but that sounds almost identical to that little friend that you were running around with. Minus the scarf.
Yeah, true. But why would he burn down his own house and then try to...
I mean, people do a lot of weird things for inheritance. And he pushes himself off the fence and starts walking towards one of the inns.
Looks at him, sir.
I like him.
Sir, my friend might look like he has the mind of a criminal, but he does not have the soul of a criminal.
I mean, like, he kind of does, but whatever.
Yeah, but Tristan wants to think that it's otherwise.
Aw, Tristan wants to think the best about Clint. Clint would think that would be adorable. He's like, aw, you silly bitch.
Silly bitch, it's my word.
Believing things that aren't true is kind of his whole thing.
That's kind of his whole thing. Yeah, I agree with you. Alright. Do you guys want to take 5, or do you want to keep going for a little bit more?
We should take 5 so that you can edit the freaking Monty Python intermission music into the video.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, let's take 5.
Alright, we're gonna take 5. Go get some water. Go in your buckets.
No. No.
Alright.
There's nothing anyone will ever want to hear.
I have my really good DM moments, and then other times I have that, like the worst.
The time you implied that that really wanted to see Clint's feet.
I didn't. That's not a thing. You guys made that a thing.
You did.
No, I didn't. Nope.
Yes, you did.
No, I didn't. Walk back out into the courtyard, and you see some nurses like hastily rushing into that specific room. You hear Landon griping with them about the rogue doctor. So what are you guys doing?
You didn't... You just walked in there and started treating her?
Maybe.
Alright. Okay. So, what do we do now? I mean, where's Clint? Where did everyone go?
I don't know, but I think finding Clint should definitely, that's a good first step.
Alright, let's figure out who the hell poisoned his mum.
Right.
So, we leave and we look for Clint.
Okay, make both of you make perception checks.
Okay. Natural 1.
Natural 20.
Oh god.
Two sides.
Absolute power couple. Willem, you're still very distracted by your hurt ankle. But Ty, you see, you're able to see just a glimpse of like Clint's hat peeking up over a hill next to a farmhouse. So you think you found him.
All right, let's. I lead Willem that direction.
Oof, ouch, my bones. Literally him this entire campaign. Just oof, ouch, my bones.
But those are Willem's two moods. Oof, ouch, my bones, and eat sand.
And eat sand. That doesn't even make any sense. Alright, so you guys head that direction. Clint and Volka, you guys make your way out into the main pen, tracking down 3 very fairly healthy looking bloodhounds. Go ahead, Clint, roll animal handling.
What die do I use? I'm joking.
I'll kill you.
Do it. 13.
Do it, 13. They're responsive, so they let you, like, leash them, but they don't necessarily want to be working right now. They would rather, like, sniff around you instead of hunting something. So you would have to, like, coerce them out of the pen and keep them from tangling in each other's leashes. And
do we actually have anything that for them to like sniff and then try to find?
Clint has that letter, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he has that. Do I have it, like, fragment of a flower pot? I don't know if that's useful.
That one I don't think would. But I think the note would work.
The flower pot has been, like, exploded and on fire.
Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I just have a letter, and did we find a canister that was thrown in? You said there's oil, but, like...
There were bits, but the main container was just disintegrated as all of the other things in that room.
Okay. Then yeah, letter. Oh yeah, and also we have the cemetery because there's an etching there.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, so what would you like to give the dogs to have them sniff out?
Yeah, if just since we're already here and we're not at the cemetery yet, he's gonna hand the letter down to the dogs so they can eat it. I mean, so they can sniff it.
So they can munch on it. You
They
gotta
can just chew on it a little bit.
gotta grow into big, strong boys.
Yeah, that's how they find it. They level up their perception.
A growing dog needs
They have
parchment.
to evolve.
Yeah, infinite evolve.
Had our shit together for the first half so well.
Yeah. Anyway.
What?
We weren't
What?
idiots in the first half, but
Ah! Well, that's to be expected. Oh.
Okay, yeah. So hand them not hand it to them. I put it down in front of them so they can sniff it and get a smell profile.
They definitely are very curious about it. They sniff it, and
and one of them tries to lick it, and you like pull it back from them, chiding them, and keeps it like at arm's length.
It tastes a little bit.
Yeah. The more receptive one kind of nips at the other two and kind of barks a bit, and they finally cave and start sniffing the ground, trying to get any leads. They first take you back towards the cemetery, which is to be expected. They sniff around. They go around the fence into through the gate, go up through the trails, through the gravestones, and come up to Cynthia's grave, where you kind of try to dust off the etching, and they are currently really, really interested in that thing of flowers that the perpetrator left behind. And then they kind of look up. They kind of look up at you, like, "Did we do it?"
This boy can fit so much sand in him.
It's such an abstract meme, and the fact that Lee made it when they were just high out of their mind, it's just hilarious.
It's so good.
I couldn't resist.
So good.
Boy can fit so much sand in him. That's ominous. That is scary.
And the sound of him hitting his head sounds like hitting like a hollow coconut.
It makes that bell sound. It's like.
Why? This is gonna be foreshadowing.
And have him make a noise.
Oh, I want to
Willem
slap.
ends up like drowning in quicksand.
All right.
Yeah. If we get stuck in quicksand, Willem will be like, "Don't worry, guys, I got this." And we'll just like sucking it up.
it.
Anyway.
Okay. So the dogs don't look like they're doing shit. Is that what you told me?
Well, they're just a little confused because they followed the scent over to the flowers because that was the strongest lead. So if you just give them like, "Hey, that's not it," they will keep going.
Okay, yeah, so he's gonna just kind of push the flowers closer to them a bit so they can get, like the most scent off of it.
Okay.
So you can get a better profile, and then, tell them keep on going.
All right. You kind of kick it towards them, and they, like, sniff it. One of them gets a petal stuck in their nose and, like, sneezes. And then the rising leader of this small pack picks up the trail almost immediately and barks at the other two, and you guys are heading full speed down towards town, which is where you run into Willem and Ty, who are currently trying to make their way up the hill.
You burnt my house down. Prepare to die.
What?
I'm kidding. Like, hey, like Clint's gonna say passing by with the dog, just hey, not say anything else.
I'm gonna try to keep up with him
for a second. And
Wolf is like trying to hold on to the leashes with him to keep the dogs from running off or anything.
Yeah.
Can I keep up with
I'm
the dog?
gonna run alongside them.
Somehow.
I only have a speed of 25
Yeah.
feet.
Can you make a dex save, Willem, please?
Sure.
Oh no. Break
Also, I just
the
realized that Wombat spelled Willem with an A instead of an E.
He did,
Oh,
yeah.
It is the pure essence of the meme, then. It's perfect.
Honestly, I was writing with an A, and was it A or once but with an E? And I was wait, was it E or A? And I just looked into the quotes section, and it oh no, it's obviously it sounds as written with an A because in the B in quotes it was an A.
Willerm.
Everyone.
I feel like with an A though, it's just an even more like high tier shitpost.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah.
It is. It makes it better.
So I got a 12.
Okay. You managed to not trip over your toes and make your ankle worse.
Again. Okay. I was like, hey, so we go back from checking out your mom. What are we doing now? I'm
Not
confused.
my mom. I'm joking. Continue.
Medically.
Yeah. Sly dog. I saw you dancing with that elderly lady. Remember that ball? Yeah, I remember. Sorry, humor's the only way I'm not snapping right now.
That's
What'd
fair.
you find out?
Is Ty running also?
Yes.
I'm a
Okay.
bit further behind, but I'm here.
Okay.
From what I could tell, it almost seemed like she was poisoned rather than some sort of sickness.
Fuck. La-di-da. Shit. God. Okay. Okay.
So we figured we'd come with you and try to find who did it.
Yeah.
I can
Thank
see that
you.
the search is going well.
He looks down at the dog.
The hounds are like
We
are
got-
sniffing,
we
and
got
one of
help.
them is like baying loudly and trying to run faster than you guys, and so you're like tugging on the leashes, trying not to lose an arm.
Yes, we got some help.
I can see that.
So, yeah, pretty much just, you know, they're taking us, and so we're going, and it's, whew.
Alright,
Oh,
alright.
gosh.
So
You stop
we
smoking.
keep running.
Okay.
Yeah, we just keep going.
So the hounds keep going until the very edge of town. Well, not edge of the main street. And they stop and they kind of look a little confused, and they go in 3 separate directions. But they all go towards what looks like either inns or a mixture of inns and taverns.
Okay. Do they take us to one building, or where do they take us?
Well, they kind of split off. And so you guys are kind of standing in the middle, and these 3 dogs are, one's going to one like on the very end, one's going to one that's connected to what looks to be like a public bath, and then one of them goes to like a really tall, like 2-story kind of nicer looking place.
All right. Ty is going to like walk up and be like, "Here."
Like, wait, we have 3 dogs, right?
Yeah, and it's 4 of us.
Okay. So it's like, okay, we can split up. Each person gets 1 dog, and just split into different directions. Willem and Ty can go together, and
Works for me.
You guys hear a voice behind you. He says, "Well, if it isn't my detective compatriots." You guys look, and it's Felix and Tristan, and they are heading towards you guys. Felix with a annoying smirk on his face. Tristan looking slightly traumatized.
Okay, so I think I missed something at some point. Who is Felix?
Felix is he's the
helping us.
ginger guy he's a guard that's helping them.
Oh, that was the
The
guy that
useless
was
cop.
on the job.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah, the useless cop.
The useless cop.
hey,
Yep.
fellas, you find anything good?
Well, I found things I didn't want to see, but I also got a description of a shady cowboy-looking person trying not to be seen lately, wearing, smoking a big cigar, having a scarf around.
Are you trying to say something, or?
Oh, me?
What? No, I'm talking to Baldy here. Never mind. What, are you trying to say that that I burnt their house down?
Felix
no.
Felix kind of gives you like an up and down look and just smiles.
Well, but no, that was not what I meant about that. But
That's what I meant.
I mean, that sounds like the kind of people you would know.
Oh.
Well,
And
yeah.
he headed down towards the south of town.
Which is where you guys are right now.
All right. Do they say a location, a locale of any kind, or?
Not particularly. It seemed like the person was heading straight away, and my source wasn't really in her right minds in any description of the word.
All right.
We talked to the
wait.
local crackhead, just to clarify.
Wait, would Clint know said local crackhead?
Roll a history check.
Sweet.
Oh yeah.
Ex-girlfriend, 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 ex-girlfriend.
Get away from the microphone.
It's the most serious I've ever heard Lee speak.
It's so
19.
19? Yeah. Lena's kind of very infamous. She's been on the streets since she was pretty young. You actually remember turning her down a couple times back before you left, because she used to kind of,
be a creeper, that's
yeah, she was a lady of the evening in her younger years. But you knew that she definitely had some kind of disease, so you said no. You're amazed that she's still alive at this point.
I hope you had, more specific information.
Well, we got dogs.
Dogs are like
we just
wrapping
kinda-
the leads around your legs, sniffing around.
He's like, well, they're trying to go in 3 different directions. We're trying to split up. Want to provide Vilka support?
I mean, if you want, do we know why they want to split up? I could ask them.
Well, maybe they bend. What? You can ask them.
What?
What? Wait, one more time. Run that by me.
Well, the dogs probably know pretty well why they're suddenly splitting up, and I thought maybe, if we ask them, it would be wiser.
No, I don't think. I think you've been spending too much time around Maka.
Tristan did that before with the horses when we were getting here.
Oh yeah, that happened while Clint was away. I forgot about that.
Yeah. So it's like, you're the horse whisperer? What the dog whisperer? What?
I am not quite sure, but I guess it is like divine gift, probably. The thing is works. So
okay, I think that's genius. Please go right ahead. He says, his legs tied up by the dog leashes.
It will take a few minutes, though. So bear that with me. He just pulls out his big, dusty and scratched holy book, hits on the ground, lights some incense, and just starts.
Felix, like he's like watching you prepare for a spell in the middle of the street, and he just kind of, I might say that my helpfulness has come to a close, so I think I'll leave you folks to it.
Wait. Don't you want to detain the bastard?
Maybe, I'll meet you inside then, and then he just runs off into the nearest inn.
Drunk.
This is why we did not pay him.
Yeah. Tristan's gonna spend the next 10 minutes, paraphrasing holy texts.
Sick. Alright, so you spend 10 minutes sitting in the dirt, in the sun.
You just kind of vibe.
In heavy robes. But you're used to it, so you don't think it's weird at all, and the rest of the party just kind of awkwardly stands around waiting.
Just helping get the leashes off around.
He's trying to help Clint get untangled. So eventually you start to pick up some voices. And they're kind of muffled and quiet at first, but as you listen in, you open your eyes and you see the dogs sniffing around, pulling on their leashes, and eventually you start to pick out what they are saying. the one on the far left is, he went this way. We gotta go this way. But the one on the right is
Scooby-Doo voices.
Scooby-Doo. Ruh-roh, reverse. Sorry. There's no, the smell is in that building, I am sure of it. I'm older than you, I know better. And then the smallest voice is kind of like going back and forth, and he's just, guys, we shouldn't be fighting, we're supposed to be finding the smell. And they're all just arguing with each other, and it's more or less you interpreting barks and yips and nipping at each other.
Okay, Tristan's gonna like do a whistle and to speak, and I'm still not sure. Do people I think it works that people actually normal people understand what I'm saying.
Yeah, I think that's how that works.
Hello, dogs. So, what are you doing? Why is the smell in different directions?
They immediately, their ears, I mean, even though they're super droopy, they, perk up. Every part of their body just, goes still. And then the kind of older voice on the right just goes, Did he just speak to us? And the one on the left is, it definitely sounded like he did. And the the youngest one is, he did it again. This is very new for me. I apologize for these two and their attitudes. Didn't you have a question?
Yes. You said that the smell is going in different directions?
Oh, so you were listening in on our conversation. That's proper impolite.
I love them.
I apologize for that.
It's water under the bridge. As that's how the saying goes. Anyway. Well, I am for certain that the smell that we are supposed to be tracking goes into that building right there. But all these other two think that the smells go into the other buildings. And that's just preposterous. And the one on the left is, you never let us talk, you never let us explain ourselves. Well, because I'm older than you, I know better. And they kind of devolve into barking and shouting at each other, and they kind of forget that you're asking them questions.
So, do you all smell, like just this one smell going on in one building? Or do you smell similar smells, and I'm not sure. I'm not used to, how dogs smell things. That's a new topic for me.
Well, our smells, our sniffers, are the most sophisticated of all of the canines. And that's actually finally something that all three of them agree on. And so the one on the left says, well, maybe if you came over here and actually sniffed on my side, you'd see that it is the exact same smell that you're smelling. And the one on the right is preposterous. And he can't.
Could it be that the smell was two people smelling the same and went
impossible.
into different directions?
Impossible. Our sniffers are very specific. There's no way that we would get the smells mixed up. However, I just realized it is the same smell. Well, by golly, Jeremy, I didn't mean to offend you. Well, it's not anything I'm not used to,
good to see that. I think we're probably going to check all the places out. Thank you for your cooperation and expert sniffers.
Well, you're very welcome. It's what we do best. Now, if you'll excuse us, we've got our business to do. And they
And Tristan's gonna end the spell, just looks back at the group and just realizes that the group was able to hear him talk to those dogs, but didn't understand what the context was. So, well, apparently the same smell goes into different directions, and the dogs are very confused about that.
So the same person went to different inns?
Yes, and as it seems to be look at the same time. And they seem very, sure about that it wasn't two people smelling the same going into different directions. And they seem to be the expert of dog noses, so I'm not going to question their judgment.
Alright. I guess it looks like we're splitting up after all then.
I guess so, yes.
Neat. Okay, cool.
I would like to check out the scent towards the bathhouse. I have to do something there, anyways.
What were the places that were being sniffed out? I don't remember all of them.
There's one on the right side, which is kind of a standard-looking inn. There is one on the left side, which has the bathhouse that Tristan mentioned. And then there is one closer to you guys that is like a really big 2-story inn that most likely has some kind of tavern or more expensive entertainment inside.
Well,
Willem looks at the fancy one and he's like, Ty and I will go to the... I don't remember which direction you said it went.
It's more directly to your right.
Okay. Ty and I will go to the one on the right.
I think that's a good idea. You can schmooze the people that are entertaining.
I'm sorry, we can what?
The people that are entertaining, you can schmooze them. You can,
Ty just continues to
grill
look
them for
very
information in a way that's sweet and nice and kind that I can't do.
Oh.
Yes, sounds good.
Cool.
That is a total lie.
Yeah.
We have heard Clint's very posh Elvish.
That's true.
Where's Coram?
Really like the
That's a good
Dang,
question.
where's
Where's
Coram?
Coram?
Oh, actually,
He came with us, didn't he?
We ate him.
Yeah, but he kind of got he was Tristan's like stay here at the wagon. He's just
vibing.
chilling. He's chilling in the wagon.
Okay,
alright.
He's eating
whichever horse
blankets.
we took with us.
He's eating some paste. It's
I
fine.
have to be the
Is there
Coram.
extra stand for
So,
him?
Clint is like, well, okay, I guess I'll go to the bar. And he points over to like the 1-story inn, and is like, Vilka, do you want to go with Tristan to a bathhouse or?
No, wait. Willem said he wanted to go to the one that wasn't fancy. Like the 1-story.
Oh, I thought you said you
No,
wanted to go to the nice one.
No.
There are 2
Oh.
inns on the right. There's a standard 1-story, and then there's a really nice 2-story.
He doesn't want to go to the 2-story because flashbacks to getting molested.
Oh,
True.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah.
Alright. Well, I guess.
What?
What?
We're going to the not fancy one.
I see,
love and
I
lust
see.
situation.
Oh, I thought you were saying you're going to the fancy one because. Never mind. He's like, oh.
No, we're not.
Okay. So it's like real shit. All right. I guess I'll go to 2-story. Not really my scene, but all right.
And I'm assuming you guys are splitting the dogs amongst yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, just splitting them in half.
All right. So Tristan's going to the bathhouse.
Yeah, I guess Volk is going with him.
With Volka. Ty and Willem are going to the 1-story, and Clint's going by himself into the 2-story.
Wait. Which
Terrible
one
idea.
did what's his name go into? Felix. That cunt.
I think he went into the 2-story one.
Perfect. I can steal him.
You can steal him.
Yeah, because he'll probably be like, schmoozing some chick, and he's like, hey, buddy, you're doing your damn job, and pulling him by the suspenders. Cool. All right, so we split.
All right.
Before they go, Volka gives Clint a kiss on the cheek and very quietly says, "We'll talk about what you said earlier when we're done with this, yeah?" And then she winks and leaves.
Wait, before she does, he's like, yeah, and he kind of slaps his hat
About
on her.
sleeping in Tristan's bed?
Yeah, sleeping in Tristan's
This is
bed.
what
Yes,
Lee is
that is what they're
contributing to
referring
this
to.
session because they have to just
Yeah.
sit there and wait. Oh, anyway. Yes, we love flirting and hitting people with hats. It's great.
Yeah.
Let's start with Tristan and Volka. You guys enter the first inn with the extended bathhouse. It is a pretty small establishment with a pretty stout-looking human man sitting at the counter. He's currently trying to count coins, and he keeps looking like he's getting frustrated and starting over.
I lied.
Oh, okay.
I missed a very important word.
Okay. He sees you come in with a dog, and he goes, I'm so sorry. There's no animals in.
We're doing it for business. We're trying to find something.
This is a crime. I'm sorry for inconveniences. I will. We will compensate you for possible cleanup situations.
Fine. What do you need help with?
Is the dog reacting to anything once we're inside?
The dog is kind of it's kind of like he is like deciding where the smell is, because now the smell is getting a little too strong, and so he's having a hard time figuring out exactly where to pinpoint it.
Okay. Right, we're trying to find someone that might have caused the fire from earlier today.
You ask for patrons?
Yes, well, the scent of the suspected sense leads into this bathhouse.
No criminals in this bathhouse, I can assure you.
We're not worried about if it ruins your establishment's thing. We just need to find someone that almost killed somebody.
They will probably no longer be.
Yes.
Did someone check in or out in the last day? Possibly covering most of their face, long scarf, smokes like a cigar.
Let me think. And he pulls out a kind of stained and wrinkled notebook, and he like flips through it. It's Tuesday, Wednesday, I only had one reservation last night from one Throckmorton, and he turns it around so he shows you the name.
Okay. Is he still checked in? Did he leave?
It is complicated. I have many patrons that come in and then they just leave without trying to check out. So, you're welcome to check the room that he was staying in. And at that, the dog like lurches forward towards one of the doors, barking like a madman.
Isn't that
Who's the one with the leash? Bulk is probably the one with the leash. She's the one strongest.
Probably, yeah.
Just like holding on to it, and she's like, "Okay, we'll check that room. We'll check that room."
Be my guest. And he throws you the rusted key for that room.
Gonna let Tristan have it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Tristan is gonna unlock the door so Volker can keep sure the dog doesn't flip out.
Yeah.
Yeah, she goes in.
Okay. I would love to tell you what happens. What you
Sorry,
see.
I can only.
No, it's fine. It's fine.
Oh, not Grenade.
What's happening?
Nothing.
What?
Mm-hmm.
What is it? Like?
Okay. Tristan, since you're opening the door, can you make your passive perception is like crazy high, right?
17.
17, yeah. Okay. You
Wait, hold on.
you open the door and you open it just a couple inches and then you feel like a tug on the door. Like it's attached to something.
Something looks of it is like booby trapped or something.
Make a survival check.
Ooh.
Checking for traps.
Ah, okay. At least it's wisdom. Yeah, no, I rolled a 2. That's a 6.
I mean, you kind of check around the door frame and you're not able to see what the door is attached to, and it might just be like stuck on something as well.
Just seems like so something is good with that door. I think look, could you, with some distance, open that door with a little bit of force? Not too much to break the door. That would be costly. Just give it a good kick.
Okay. You kick the door. It flies open very easily, kind of banging against the other wall. Make a dex save, both of you.
Okay. We know what happened last time.
Oh.
We know what happened last time.
That is a 22.
Nice.
Much better than our regular 2.
8.
Tristan, you throw yourself, like your spider senses kick in, and you immediately throw yourself against the front wall with the door, and you are not able to call out fast enough to Volka before she gets pelted with bits of shrapnel that have flown out from the door.
Could I use my deflect missiles to shield her a bit from that?
Is the dog gonna get hurt? No.
The dog has to make a dex save too.
That's true. I forgot about that.
No, don't kill
Why
the
did you
dog.
mention it?
Yeah, I think you can.
Kill the dog and we're gonna have problems.
Deflect missiles.
Killed the dog for Rockmorton did.
Can you remind me how that works again?
I can use a reaction to deflect or catch a missile. Just so damage taken when the attack is reduced by 1d10 plus dex bonus plus level of plus 6. And if I, reduce it to 0 and it is like a flying missile, I can throw it back. Whereas more like there's a bunch of shrapnel coming, and can I, use deflect missiles to make sure that at least the dog isn't, pierced by shrapnel.
Okay. Yeah. So you're able to kind of like everything happens in slow motion. You throw yourself against the wall to get out of the way, but then you see that Volka isn't going to dodge in time, as well as the dog, and so you kind of like roll towards them to try to use your deflect missiles to at least kick some or block or throw back at some of it. You are able to save the dog.
Well, that's fine.
Since it's plus 6, you don't really have to roll for it because it's already pretty low. However, Volka...
That's fine.
Actually, okay, hold on. I rolled the wrong dice.
Did you use Danger Sense?
Oh, actually, that's a fair point.
Or should I roll this?
I forgot.
No, I'll roll it.
I forgot about.
Forgot what
you get
dice
advantage
smell
on
like.
dex saves, I thought.
Wait,
Or,
let me see. I got my
Yeah,
thing.
it says you have advantage on dexterity saving throws against traps and spells that you see.
Okay, yeah, Volka, go ahead and roll again then.
Oh, okay. I don't. Okay. I kind of forgot.
Anyone remember what the other one was?
I never really needed to use it.
It was 6.
Oh, that's better. 14.
Ooh, still not enough.
That's fine.
It was worth a shot.
Okay,
I've never really
now
used it.
Tristan, go ahead and roll your d10 to see how much damage you take away.
I mean, Volka's at like full health. Pretty sure.
Well, he's saving the dog, not you.
3 plus 6, so
Yeah.
9 points of damage.
Okay.
Gonna have to go full John Wick if the dog dies.
Okay, so you're able to kind of like roll and grab the dog and like protect it with your back. But Volka, you take 14
Oh, God.
piercing damage, I believe.
It'd be halved, because... Yeah.
Wait, no, is...
Oh, no, never mind. She's not raging. I'm stupid.
Yeah. You got it, it's
I
cool.
forgot. You don't have Way of the Bear.
Suddenly bears.
she like holds up her arms to try and block, and she's like, "Shit! What the fuck? What happened?"
The innkeeper kind of jumps up. What on earth was that? And he like rushes forward to like help Tristan up.
I think your patron trapped the room. I hope you didn't, damage the door with that.
I think we have bigger problem than the damaged door. I have patron that is damaging and disrupting my business.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, disrupted business is the problem here.
So, Ilka, are you alright? I mean...
I'm fine. Are you alright?
Oh, yeah, I'm... Mostly, yes. The dog is okay. He just... It has dust him off from, like, the splinters.
Yeah,
Oh.
she like brushes them off and looks around the room.
Not sure if it is the person we are looking for, but it is at least someone who doesn't want to be followed.
Because that is better. Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah, let's have a look around in the room.
Yeah.
Okay. So, with the dog properly traumatized, you guys walk into the room, and you now can see the string that was attached to the door that led to a now open box that was pointed towards the doorway. There's a lot of strange contraptions and triggers that kind of unnerve you a bit, Tristan.
Mechanics.
Like confetti.
Why does it have to be mechanics?
There
Should probably
isn't much in
Tristan.
this room. There is a bed, a table, a chair, a waste basket, an open window. Can both of you make investigation checks?
Yes.
Yeah. I will give Vilka some divine guidance on that. And I think actually he's just going to give Vilka advantage, just because he's not very the best in, snooping around rooms and looting.
What is it?
Looting is more of a Vilka thing.
What does divine guidance do?
You get 1d4 to it, and I give you
Okay.
advantage.
Okay, let me see. Where? Okay. Okay. Adding these up. 14
Okay.
altogether.
You take a good look around this room, trying to see if there's any notion as to who this person is, or if this is the person that you're trying to find. You do find a decent-sized ashtray on the table across from the bed, and it is very full.
Big cigar.
Is there any sign that the person's stuff is there?
Not that you can see. It looked like this person, like, came in, set the trap, and left through the open window.
Okay. Is there anything left behind besides the trap or anything? Besides the trap and cigars?
Not from what you can see. It looks like they picked up their tracks pretty well.
Okay.
Tristan just looks very concerned at this mechanical trap box. Okay, could you, take this with you? I feel like this is something Clint would know stuff about.
What is it?
And it's a mechanical box that shoots stuff at you, that shoots little pieces of metal at you. That sounds like a Clint thing.
It does. It does sound like exactly.
Right, yes, I think that will be useful. And she takes it. She's not really sure where to put it, so she just kind of holds onto it under her arm.
Okay.
Just trying to calm the dog down. Keep away from the trap and just...
Yeah.
All right.
Head out the room, probably.
Okay. Clint, Connor, are you still? Oh.
Before we leave the establishment, yes. Tristan's gonna go to the owner. He says, so,
right.
How much would be? Wait, does this place also serve food, or is it just bathing and sleep?
You still want room after what happened?
Not really a room, no, but I'm asking.
I usually bring back some of my groceries in the morning.
Okay, so how much would be, a little bit of simple food and a bath?
Like 5 copper.
Tristan just puts 2 silver on the table. I know you probably don't want her in your establishment with good reason. But the next time this strange lady, talking to rats, comes over, give her some food and a bath. She needs a bath.
And he frowns thoughtfully, and he takes the coin and he says, "You are a good man. That's very kind of you."
Well, do what I can. Have a good day. I hope that is the only problematic customer you will have for the next time, and we will be on our way.
Yes, I guess I will start the cleanup then. And you guys leave.
Right.
Connor, are you still there?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's go to Clint.
Just dead.
He's dead.
He blows up the establishment. Okay.
Moving on.
Yes. No. Sorry. I'm really out of it right now. I'll shut up.
Oh, it's cozy.
So yeah, what's up?
Okay, so you follow your hound through the swinging doors into the very polished establishment, almost immediately annoying you with the piano music and the card games and people fighting and, drinking and it's the middle of the day, but they're already having a great time at this tavern inn. There's several lovely lady waitresses walking around with short skirts and tall glasses of alcohol. One of them kind of smiles and waves at you as she walks by and kind of gives you like an up and down look. You make a perception check.
Okay.
Are you okay?
7? Unfortunately, you do not find Felix anywhere. He has disappeared.
Son of a bitch. Okay. All right. I just I'm gonna follow where the dog wants to go.
Okay. You walk a few paces with the dog very close to the ground, going between tables and underneath people's legs, and you kind of have to maneuver around them until a large hand grips the leash and stops both of you. And you look at this well-built man dressed in a button-up shirt, bolo tie, slicked pants, and greased back hair. And he's, well, now, we seem to have a bit of a mutt in our establishment. And an almost identical well-built man comes up on your other side with his arms behind his back. Is, yeah. Funny how that works, ain't it? What do you think this mutt is doing in our establishment? And the one on the right says, I haven't a clue, brother dear. Why have you brought this mutt into our establishment?
It's like an SNL bit.
It really is.
Clint's going to look vaguely past them with glazed over eyes and say, I'm sorry, this is my seeing eye dog.
Okay. Make a performance check.
What? Not deception?
Fine, deception. Performance would have been funnier.
I said it. Sorry. Where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Deception starts with D. +5, 15.
15. Let me roll for these two.
Because Discord is not being recorded, I really want to read this. We commented, all Aurora born after 1990 know is sexy twins, kill dog, hurt Maka, eat hot chip, and lie.
I'm being roasted.
Really wanted to share that.
After 1990?
Although that meme.
She's not 30.
Yeah, I know the meme.
So the one on the right kind of lets go of the leash and he looks up at his brother. Well, I'll say I think we might have made a mistake, brother dear. And the other one looks at you and looks straight into your eyes. And then he like flashes his hand in front of you and you flinch and then like curse under your breath. He's merely a ruse, brother dear. He's nothing but a fraud.
You got me. All right. And like he pulls out coin and he's like, look, I'll give you each like 3 silver if you let me investigate this place.
They glance at each other and they both straighten up and take like almost identical poses with their arms like resting behind their back. You with the law, son?
In a way.
Fair.
Doing the job they won't do, and he smiles, is like, you saw the ginger asshole that came in here, right?
We might have. Did we, brother dear?
Well...
And he's, I can't say, brother dear.
Nate, well, if you can imagine, and if you might have, and you saw him, then you might have seen that he was a jackass. Now, yeah, so they won't do the job, so we're having to. I got bloodhounds that I'm renting. So may I please investigate your establishment so I can find out who burnt some civilians' homes?
The one on the left kind of rolls his shoulders. We'd be happy to assist with vigilantes. And he holds out his hand for your bribe.
Wonderful. And he stacks 3 nice silver coins on top of on each of their palms identically. He's like, well, goodbye, brother dear and brother dear.
They both just smirk at you and turn to go back to their other patrons.
He's gonna go in the direction of what the dog says. Like, weirdo.
This is what happens when I have to improvise NPCs. Shit goes down. Shit goes down and shit gets weird.
Man, that was funny.
I was having more of the vibes of like Flim and Flam from My Little Pony.
These guys have.
Oh yeah, I forgot about this.
I talked too slowly for Flim and Flam.
That's true. They're like if Flim and Flam were mobsters.
They're like Flim and Flam.
Yeah, I just imagined the guy from Hitman, except 2 of them.
Except 2 of them.
Agent 47.
It's like the guys. It's the two guys from the Matrix.
Yeah. It reminded me of like Barnum Brothers stuff, like the 2 strong men that are twins.
Yeah. Good times, except they run the establishment because they are
I like the Property Brothers because they definitely kiss each other on the lips.
They definitely kiss each other on the lips.
All right. If that's what you think. All right. So you follow the dog. You follow the dog up the wooden steps. He's very adamant. He's sure he knows where he's going. You turn a corner. You go down the first hallway, and he stops short at the 3rd door on the left and jumps onto it and like scratches against the handle.
He almost immediately yanked back on the dog. He's like, "Hey now, chill." And he's going. Clint goes to investigate the door to see if it's booby trapped.
Make a survival check.
Because he's a big brain boy.
He's a big galaxy brain boy.
Investigation. Wait. Yeah, is it not investigation? It's survival.
It's survival because it's traps.
Okay. Cuckoo. Come on.
I mean, you are trying to survive.
You are trying to survive. What'd you roll?
3. Sorry, math. I'm bad at math.
No, you're not.
17.
17. You kind of do all of your old tricks, trying to see if it's attached to something or if it's going to trigger anything on the other side. Doesn't seem like it. And surprisingly, the door is unlocked already.
All right. He's gonna put his ear up against it to listen for anyone.
Make a perception check.
Dokie.
He's got those like detachable ears from Harry Potter, like on the yarn.
16.
All you hear is some slight rustling of what sounds like curtains. But it sounds like, it's a consistent sound, and so it might just be like they're just billowing from an open window.
All right. He's going to pull his gun and like hide it behind his back, and then open the door slowly, and then quickly, and just jump through. Just like.
Okay. You prepare yourself, and then you like shoulder the door open and brandish your weapon. And the room is empty. The bed is kind of messily made. The window is open, and there are some really fancy curtains blowing up against it.
Okay.
There is also a small kind of suitcase off to the side, and there are some picked like flowers and crops. Make a history check or nature check on the crops.
Okie dokie. No, bad. Got nature check 5.
Ooh. You don't. They just seem to be like wild plants. You don't really recognize them from anything.
Okay. He's like, all right, dog, go nuts, and he lets go of the leash.
He immediately sniffs around. He ignores the case, and he kind of sniffs the bed sheets. He goes over and he sniffs around the windowsill, and he kind of sniffs the plants, but then he kind of sneezes and walks away from it. And then he kind of just looks up at you, just like, this is it.
As in the trail of the scent ends here?
Yeah, because it's a second-story room, it seems like the person, like, left through the window, but the dog can't follow that scent because it's a second story, so.
All right, what's it look like outside? Is there, like, a balcony, a banister, anything?
There's an outside sill kind of for, like, house plants, and there is a very sturdy rope attached to that sill.
Okay. You said there's a
Fucking
case.
asshole can't even collect his own rope.
Kind of hard to untie a rope that's tied to the room that you just left upstairs, but
but go off.
Yeah, sorry. So you said there's a case, right?
Yes.
Is that the establishments, or can I tell?
It definitely looks like it's out of place.
Perfect. Okay, I want to check that bitch for traps first.
Okay, make a survival check.
All right. Fuck yeah, I did. Dirty 20.
Okay, it is definitely not trapped. It just seems like
I'm going to use my thieves' tools if it's locked.
It is not locked. It's a very
I
easy
just
latch.
open that bitch.
These are Cynthia's dresses. There is lace and that one really nice silk dress that she liked but never wore because she didn't want to get it dirty.
Shit got real intense real quick.
It's almost as soon as he opens the case, he slams it shut and locks it back with the latches. And he's like, "All right, come on, Mutt." He pulls on the dog a little too hard, and begins to walk out of the room with the case in hand.
Okay.
He's going to go outside and around to where the rope was dangling from and have the dog sniff the rope.
Okay.
And then go from there.
One quick thing, as you are leaving with the case, one of the brothers notices you and is, "Many apologies, young sir, but I don't think that belongs to you."
I gave you money. He's just gonna keep walking.
I can tell you who it did belong to as you're leaving.
Well, why didn't you say so? And he turns around. He's like, "Are you talking about the clothes in here or the box?"
As you, when you turn around back to look at them, both of the brothers are there, as if he teleported next to them.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
And they both look at each other, and then they look at the patrons, and they gesture for you to come with them into their, like, main office.
That's not
All
safe.
right.
That's not safe.
Okay, cool. Clint's going to stealthily have a dagger hidden, like, in his sleeve, ready.
Okay, roll sleight of hand.
Okay. Hell yeah, I did. Sleight of... That would be... 27?
Holy crap. Okay, yeah.
Wait, I have a question.
What's your question?
So the image, I thought that was like them on a platform thing, and that was like the shield and sword thing was decoration. That's their hair.
You didn't know that was their hair?
No, I've never played.
It's like the gems from Steven Universe.
Yeah, that's the protagonist. You get to choose to play either sword or shield.
Yeah.
You're stuck with those two choices to play as.
He looks like he's got one of those really tall, like comical cowboy hats on.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, it's Dome Dimmadome.
Dome Dimmadome.
Dimmadome, all of the Dimsdale Dimmadome.
All right, so you very easily slip the small dagger up your sleeve and casually follow them into the back. It's a very nice, dark, rustic study with many, like, models of weapons and lots of nice crown molding on the top parts of the walls. And they both sit in a weird, like, it's like a rolly desk chair, but it's big enough for two people, so it's like a rolly couch. And they both sit in it. And
What's with you and twinning?
and they the one on the left gestures for you to put the case down on the desk.
Very reluctantly, he slowly places it.
Will only be a moment, son. And they both have a hand on it, and the one on the right pops it open. Just as I thought. So did I, brother dear. Well, you see, son, this case was in the hands of a certain someone that we already had bad feelings about. Didn't we? We sure did, brother dear. A pretty ghastly looking man with a weird scarf around his neck and big teeth coming out of his mouth. Poor soul needs to see some kind of dentist. Regardless, the thing that caught our attention was that the name he put himself under didn't seem to add up. You see, this was a very obvious macho man, but he called himself Cynthia, if you can believe it.
I can. Well,
the one on the left kind of notices your change of attitudes. Someone you know, Sonny?
Unimportant.
Fair
so,
enough.
Do you know where he went? I saw a rope and an open window. I don't believe he checked out.
Can't say that he did. Son of a gun ran out on his bill.
Well, I'll make sure he well pays for it.
See to it that you do. And we won't speak a word of this encounter to anyone. And they close the case.
Any more leads you can give me?
He certainly didn't look human, if you can believe it.
All right. Those big teeth you mentioned, I'm gonna make sure that that we say that those are fixed.
Well, I think it'd be proper fixed if they were just removed. And they give each other a very, very terrifying smirk.
Well, is this whole town full of crazies?
I mean, why do you think Clint's the way he is? Because he grew up in a town full of crazies.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, and he's like, well, maybe if I get him and I rough him up a bit, I'll have him pay his bill right here with you. All right, thank you for your help. And he grabs the case and begins to walk out.
Okay, so you walk out with your hound and your case and your evidence. So we are currently at 3 hours. We still have Willem and Ty left. Do you want to go ahead and do their little investigation, or save that for next time?
I think we should save that for next time because I'm going to try to take my dog to the vet.
Right,
Yeah.
okay.
I'm scheduled for D&D like in 5 minutes with a different group.
Got it. Okay. Well, looks like our party's all got places to be. So thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you all next time.
Let us know who's your favorite character.
I love you, and subscribe and
I'm
like
Team
and comment.
Throckmorton.